Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday night, hump day. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and this is Untethered Live. Come on in, take your shoes off. It's going to be a good show. Get you some coffee, and let's get rocking and rolling. What's happening out there in the world? Who's first in chat? Soph's first in chat. Well, hello, Soph. Or should I say, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, beep, 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 beep. Nice to see you. Soph says, I'm having internet issues right now with my TV, and I can't get into YouTube from my TV because it's not working. Here's a thought. Turn off the TV and get on your computer and see how it goes. And if that doesn't work, get off the computer, get on your phone and see how that goes. Probably one of those will work. How about hello or nice to see you or hey, it's fun to be here at Untethered Live. Other than, I have problems and I want you to know that I have problems. I have problems too. But you don't hear me complaining about it because I'm happy to see you. Right? Okay. Big John's here. What's up, my friend? Nice to see you. Big John says, hello, everybody. I'm having issues with my YouTube. Well, damn. They did the same thing with Vodafone in the UK last week. Strange. That is strange. It must be like a Eastern Hemisphere kind of thing. Or Western, Middle Hemisphere kind of thing. However that works. I don't know. I hope you get it fixed, though. And so says, yeah, John, it happened to me today. I don't know what's going on. Well, obviously you do know what's going on. Your TV's on the fritz. That's what's going on. It could be an alien invasion, but I'd say most likely your TV's on the fritz. I'm just out on a limb here, but maybe your TV's on the fritz. Could be. Nice to see you, though. Big John says probably China hacking. Could be China. Could be a Chinese TV on the fritz. Fritz is French, by the way. So they're always to blame. Soph says, yep, I think so. And Amanda says,
here's your gold star, Soph. Hi, Soph and Nugget. I think it's Michael Jackson.
By the way, welcome to Amanda.
Hi, Untethered Live.
Yeehaw. It's Wednesday.
He forgets about me.
I just woke up. Leave me alone.
He just puts me in his pocket and keeps me for himself.
Right there in my breast pocket. Soph says, hey, Amanda, me and John are having some YouTube issues right now. Well, clearly not. You're conveying that information to us on YouTube because we're on YouTube right now. So, congratulations to solving your problem. And Michael Jackson is next Sunday. Okay. So it's not this Sunday, just to be clear. It's next Sunday. Aaron, what's up, my brother? Nice to see you. How are you? Aaron says, smiley, smiley. And Big John says, hi, Amanda and Jake Hart. Big John, nice to see you, my friend. And Big John says, hi, Aaron, thumbs up. And Soph says, hey, Aaron, how's your internet on your end? That's not how internet works, honey. His internet is not affiliated with your internet in any way, shape, or form. There isn't an end. He doesn't have an end. It's just the internet. We're all plugged into it in different places. Amanda?
My chat jumped. Hold on. Oh, hello, Aaron. And we are in another country, so our internet is fine. Yes. LOL.
We're in America. We have American internet. It doesn't go out.
Not for long anyway.
Not for long anyway. America. USA. USA. No, I'm just kidding. Aaron says, I'm at Michael Jackson's ranch, so my internet is good, Soph. Damn it. Do you know why we're giving you a hard time, Soph? Have you worked it out yet?
No.
Message retracted? I guess not.
No.
I can't read it if you retract it, honey.
Moonwalk Ranch.
Yeehaw. And Soph says, that's good to hear.
What? Aaron says, yep, Netherland. I said, yeah, LOL, Aaron.
Big John says, it must be easy. It must be east side, not west side. Allie G would say. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that works. West Side. Gang, gang. Soph says message retracted again. I can't read it if you retract it. Aaron says your internet is haunted, Soph. Victor, what's up, buddy? He says, evening, everyone. And Jake, how are you tonight, sir? Fantastic. How are you, Victor? Nice to see you. Come on in. We're having internet drama.
And Michael Jackson.
Soph says, I was on the internet. I was on YouTube this morning and then somehow turned itself off and then turned it on. Maybe it was AI. Maybe AI is trying to infiltrate your YouTube on the TV. Have you tried your phone? I hear those things have internet. And Amanda says,
Hi, Vic.
Vic says, how are you, Amanda? How are you, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to see you.
How's the dog and things?
How's a what?
The dog and things.
And stuff and junk?
Yeah.
Hanging a little shriveled and to the left?
A little short, shriveled to the left.
I didn't say short. That's your imagination.
Depends on how cold it is.
It's not cold. Aaron says, that was James Brown, Soph. He felt good, so he turned your internet back on. Hey. Step back, want to kiss myself, said, hi.
I'm telling you, it's Michael Jackson trying to come back through the internet.
Could be. Your internet is haunted by the ghost of Michael Jackson. Aaron says, oh, my stomach, too much laughing. And Victor says, wait. What if Soph's computer is haunted, but it's the ghost, but the ghost is Soph? It is Soph. Could be. I did ask you a question earlier, Soph. You've yet to answer it.
I'm good, Vic. How y'all doing?
Have you worked out why we're giving you a hard time yet? Have you figured it out? I would like to hear you alliterate it. If you hadn't figured it out, I will tell you, but you have to ask. Otherwise, it's just going to continue. Amanda?
What if the ghost is Michael Jackson? She did talk him up.
Victor says, I'm doing good. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Vic.
Aaron says, well, to be a ghost, she has to be alive, so no ghost. And Soph says, I'm praying that my internet will be back by Monday. I'm praying. Well, that's not how God works either. He won't fix your internet, I promise. That's not a God purview. Thou shalt have internet is not in the Bible. Victor says, are you on your computer or phone, Soph? TV, I'm guessing. Which I find that hard to imagine. I know they exist, but just with a remote trying to type, I don't understand.
No, she has Chromecast. She Chromecast her phone to her TV.
Ah, I see. See, Soph says it was on the TV. Chromecast on my TV. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And Vic says, blinks confusion. I cannot live. I cannot die. I cannot breathe. Sorry. I had a Metallica flashback. You have to be old to get that joke. Aaron says, what are you on now, Soph? Soph says, I'm on my iPad because the internet's working on my iPad, but I can't go on my TV yet until the internet is working. Okay, let me see if I can help you out here. Are you listening? The internet is running your iPad, your phone, and your TV. It's one internet. If the internet is working on your iPad, the problem is in the TV, not in the internet. You understand? There's two different things on the same service. You're not paying for separate internets. You're paying for one internet. You have several devices. Turn your TV off. Turn it back on. See if that helps.
Turn your Chromecast off. Turn it back on.
That'll probably fix your problem. You might have to log back in. And Soph says, me and John are having the same problem right now.
I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I was thinking about just exactly what you were just explaining. How are you on this and that's not working, but you, never mind. I wasn't even trying to know.
Victor says, quite peculiar. The game, Vic, is a foot. Sometimes it's a hand, but tonight it's a foot. Aaron says, you and John, huh? Does John know you're a couple? John says, strange things are happening. When there's something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Jake Johnson.
I don't have to call you. You're here.
Take every opportunity to say the name instead of what's in the song.
No way.
Yeah, if there's two syllables, put the name in there. It's called advertising. It's how it works. Amy's here. She says maybe it's Max Headroom. Max? Yes, maybe. Could be. I missed that guy. I loved Max Headroom back in the day. Back in a little slice of time when he was the Coke presenter. I mean, Pepsi presenter. Pepsi. Was it Pepsi or Coke? I think it was Pepsi.
I think it was Pepsi. Hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. Happy hump day.
Camel.
Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
Cameling.
Kind of humpy?
Yep, I got a hump and everything.
Wow. Hi, Amy.
Amy says, hi, Amanda. And Soph says, how are you guys? Waiting for you to answer my question. That's how we are. You cannot be dense. I've heard you talk. You are either ignoring me outright or you cannot answer. One or the other. Amber Brown says, good evening, friends. Hi, Amber. Nice to see you. Smiley faces and hearts. Amy says, hi, Aaron, Vic, Soph, John, Jake, and the lurkers, and Amanda. Big John says, I was doing the same thing. It was doing the same thing on a laptop and phone. Well, see, that's the internet. If the internet's off on everything, it's the internet. But if you can't get it on one thing and you go to your other thing and it's there, it's not that the internet, it's the thing.
Hi, Amber.
Amy says, hi, Amber. Aaron says, lurkers, LOL. There are lurkers. I'm important enough to have lurkers. Amber says, how's everyone? Everyone's fine as far as I know. How are you? Amy says, I'm just here for a few minutes. I have to go back to work shortly. I hear you. I understand that. I just got off work and I'm back at work already. Big John says, hi, Amy. V and heart, Big John says. Debbie, hello, darling. She says, howdy hump day, y'all. Hi, Debbie. Hope you're feeling humpy today. And Soph says, there's an error. it would be the A.
Hi, Debbie.
Because errors come in ands. They don't come in A's. Amber says, good evening, Jake. Hi. Nice to see you. Come on in, take your shoes off, have some coffee with me. Don't you want to have a cup with me? If so, go to the kitchen, pour yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, and let's get to talking about something. Something. Dear God, please. If you happen to find yourself in the unforgivable position of not owning a coffee cup, though, I can fix that. You can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It is fantastic. But we also have stainless steel tumblers, the big ones and the little ones. They both have locking lids, the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front and all the platforms on the back. They look great on your coffee table. They keep your coffee hot for hours. And if you throw it at somebody, it'll leave a mark, so get one while supplies last. Also, you can get a Band-Aid or a piece of string or one of those little white tees that you put a golf ball on top of and hit and you stick it in the ground. I'm not sure about those last three things, but check it out. There's stuff down there. Just go look. I'm sure you can get what you need. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join in. Super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love, throw a little bit of fun my way. I'd appreciate that. But if you really want to feed Jake, that's Feed Jake. That's Feed Jake. You can do that by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand or Cash App $JakeJohnsonBand. I greatly appreciate that. And I will do everything in my power to be worthy of that support. And I appreciate you. One last thing. If you'd like to have a place to hang out outside of the YouTubeverse and their little oppressive fingertips and everything, me misreading it and, all the drama that ensues, you can do that over at facebook.com/UntetheredLive chilling. It's a great place to hang out. Go check it out. Share pictures, videos, texts, and chats. Get to know about everybody. And stay for the memes. They're hilarious. And now, back to you.
Feed Jake, huh?
Feed Jake. Not the other thing. Although that sounds fun too. Aaron says, crack is whack. So crack is whack. Victor says, what would happen if you could give AI crack? It would probably self-destruct. But don't worry. In the event that she actually is AI, I've seen every episode of William Shatner talking a computer into killing itself. I'm pretty sure I can handle this. So says, I switched it on and back off. But not, well, that's the problem. I didn't say switch it on and back off. I said switch it off and back on. If it's off, you can't do anything. Turn it back on. Aaron says, I don't want to find out. And that was a bad joke. I take it back. Too late now. It's out there. Victor says, nope. No takesy backsies. Aaron, now we got to know. And we should run field experiments now and find out. Bill Bennett says, howdy, y'all. Bill, nice to see you, my brother. How you doing? And Debbie says, Aaron, channeling his inner Whitney Houston. And I will always love you.
Hi, Bill.
For some reason, I picture her in a bathtub, and I don't know why.
Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
Mm.
Aaron says, sings I Will Always Love You with no shirt. Aaron says, step, hip, thrust, twirl. Flossy, flossy, flossy. Flaccido Domingo does the marching man. Debbie says, oh my goodness. Now I need a cold shower, Aaron.
LOL, Aaron.
He is a sexy man, isn't he? I wish I had pecs like that.
Anyway.
And Debbie says, 3 thumbs. Legit, Amanda.
3 thumb links, Amanda.
Length. That's what that says.
Yes.
3 thumb lengths, Amanda. Oh, yeah. That's about right. Depending on whose thumb we're talking about. What are we talking about? What are we measuring? You know. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's about right. 2 of mine. Anyway.
More than that.
No, that's about right.
Well, it depends on how far you put them together.
I mean, it's mine. I know what it looks like.
I know what it is, too.
I've had it a year or 2. I understand it.
I have my hands on it more than you do.
I doubt that very much. Amy says, hi, Bill. And Big John says, just beat it. The internet, as Michael Jackson would say. Just beat it. And Aaron says, 4 thumbs club. Good gracious, my man.
LOL, Jake, too.
Amy says, my mom used to be a switchboard operator. Some lady called and said she had too much cord on her end and wanted my mom to pull it up on her side. That's a really old joke. I like it. I like to think about switchboard operators. Think about the whole country connected by wires, and at each end is a circuit board with a bunch of holes in it, and a poor woman or series of women sat there connecting wires together to make connections to phones on this end or that end. And how complicated that would be, and how many connections and twists and turns, and really educated people had to be there to understand what was going on and not get lost in the malaise of wiring. And then I picture making a phone call from the surface of the moon to the President of the United States in real time on a landline. And I just laugh in silence because I may be the only person alive that understands. That's retarded. Anyway, I digress. Debbie says, is that new male math, Aaron? No, that's math. Aaron says, thou shalt have internet is not in the Bible. I want that hoodie. I'll write that down.
You write too slow.
I'm writing a lot. See? I got it. Aaron says, it's the female measuring stick. I like it. All right, then my chat jumped. Hang on.
8:43.
8:43?
Yep.
Amy says, I'm going back to work now. Y'all have fun. Thank you, Amy. Come back and see us. Aaron says, oh, dang, Amy. She was smart as a paperclip in a laptop factory. Debbie says, tonight is a foot night, ? I'm glad I'm here for that.
The game is a foot.
Oh, yeah, it could be a foot.
That's about when she came in. Was you talking about a foot?
Got it. Big John says, it was just YouTube. Facebook was okay. It's okay now. Oh, okay, so YouTube was down. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I was asleep. And Soph says, yeah. And Bill Bennett says, I have straight talk phone with data, and my home internet is Frontier Fiber. So you can have 2 internets, TWO internets, LOL. You can, but if you're in a house and you have the TV, right? The TV is hooked up to the internet. And if that's the case, you have internet service because you can't do that with Straight Talk. So you have to have one internet to do all of that. You can have two internets. You know, your phone also provides internet with data. So you could use the internet on your phone too, just the number, not the extra internet that you pay for. You could have it hooked up to Wi-Fi, but you could be using the data too. So you are correct, technically, but my point still stands. Amanda says,
LOL, home internet bill.
what she said. And Soph says, I will try my best to get the internet working. First, answer my question. Do you understand why people are giving you a hard time? Have you worked it out?
No.
Aaron says, Elon may help you, Soph. Well, you got to talk to Michael first, but that's an end run to Elon Musk.
Don't have a clue, I'm sure.
Victor says, it's probably just a bug in your programming, Soph. You'll have to wait for the next update to come out.
LOL, Vic. I wonder what kind of bug it is.
Might be that smiley face bug coming back to haunt us all from the 90s. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Can I get an amen, my fellow nerds?
Yeah.
No? Soph says, yeah.
There's the Facebook page, the chilling page.
The link is in the chat if you want to check it out. Aaron says, I like Jake's shirt. Thank you. It's dragons. I have a red one with black and a black one with red.
It's dragons, Aaron.
Dragons. Because I like David Carradine. It's a long story. Debbie says, I bet it looks better on the floor, Aaron. It looks longer on the floor anyway. Aaron says, oh, I like dragons. Me too.
Definitely, Debbie.
I like real dragons and art dragons. There is a difference. Aaron says, Magic Jake. No, I can't shoot. Can't jump either. I used to, though. I used to have springs in my ass. When I was 15, I could jump over a car a long ways. That's not a lie. Can't do it now, though. I'd jump over a car sitting still long ways, like hood to trunk. And back then they had big cars, so I can't do it now, though. Aaron says, didn't her daughter die in a tub? That may be why I'm picturing her in a tub. I think you might be right about that. I'm not sure.
They both did.
They both died in a tub?
Yes.
That may be why I'm picturing her in a tub. That's horrible. That's the image that my brain remembers. And Debbie says, she did too, Aaron. There you go. That's it. Aaron says, install showers. Or, don't get in the tub and pass out on cocaine. Debbie says Whitney overdosed and found her in the tub. They found her in the tub, yes. Victor says, if I hold my head face up under the shower long enough, I can still drown myself, Aaron. It would take a lot of motivation, but it could be done, I'm sure. Yeah, you'd have to really struggle with that, but you could do it technically. You can technically drown with a tablespoon of water, but you'd have to purposely put it in there.
I'm laughing at something else.
Aaron says a teaspoon of water could kill a person, Vic. I was just saying that very thing. It's like we have a synced up minds or something. Linda Davis is here. She says just got back from St. Clair Halloween parade. It's cold out there. Hey, Linda. Nice to see you, sweet lady. How was the parade? Did you have fun? Did you get lots of candy? And Victor says, good to know. Good to know. Deleted. Aaron says, Did you see the fire truck, Linda? Definitely.
Hi, Linda Hun. Did you have fun?
And Linda says, yes, my daughter was in it for flags and band front. Nice. Aaron says, for Jake, smiley face. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was cool, Linda. Debbie says, can Jake get an amen? Amen, hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice, Linda.
So you're saying she was in, what's that called? Color guard?
No, she's in flags for band.
That's called color guard. Am I wrong?
Isn't color guard military?
No.
Oh, okay. No.
It's people that twirl flags.
Okay.
There's another kind of guard, but I can't remember what it is, and that's for guns. And then there's color guard, and that's for flags. If I'm remembering that correctly, I might be wrong.
I don't remember them all.
Honor guard, there's one of those. That might be the flag thing.
The honor guard is military, I believe.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I wasn't ROTC, so that's probably where my brain is. Amanda says.
Nope, you're at 9 o'clock.
Debbie says, spring in your ass. Now you have my full attention.
LOL, Debbie.
Yep, when I was 15, I could jump long ways across a car, take off running, and just right over that thing. And I could jump probably about 18 feet high. And that went away rather quickly as I got older. Big, strong legs, though. Big, strong legs. Aaron says, I meant Magic Jake, like the stripper dance movie. Magic Jake. Oh. Yeah, I didn't watch that because I'm a guy. But I get it. I understand what you're saying now. I can't dance, though. Wouldn't work. Victor says, contemplates springing the ass.
LOL, Vic.
Victor says, I'm going to ask my wife. Like it. That's good. Aaron says, I picture Jake bouncing like Tigger. Hey, only we can call us that. Wait, what?
Now you see what I was laughing at.
Linda says, my granddaughter got lots of candy. You didn't get any? Don't lie to me now. When I took my kids trick-or-treating, I got a lot of candy too. It's okay. You don't have to pretend like you didn't get some. Big John says, I have a fear of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over it. You guys are killing it with the jokes tonight. That's hilarious. Honor guard, says Aaron. I knew it was something like that. LOL. Better than under it, John. Under the speed bump? Oh, yeah. Or being the speed bump. Aaron says, I've never seen it either, Jake. I'm just teasing you, man.
Hot mess.
Truth is if it was anything but a bunch of sweaty dudes, I probably would have seen it. But I just didn't like the way it looked, so I didn't watch it. Big John says, I tried to start a hot air business, but it never took off. Yep. And now you're working on your second $1 million because you gave up on your first? Yep. Me too. Me too. This is what my career has come to. Where did Soph go? Don't like being tied down, do you?
The internet got her.
Internet. Oh. Aaron says, it wasn't fire, John. Debbie says, what happened, Big John? Couldn't get enough men together to talk? Yep, that's fair. I'll let you have that one. Big John says, wasn't fit enough.
Wasn't lit enough.
Wasn't lit enough. I'm blind. I can't see. It's okay. Aaron says, bravo, Vic. That's very good. I often wonder what life would have been like. Vic says, thanks. I got it from Hannah. Hannah's very smart. Hello, Hannah. It is Wednesday, and I'm struggling here. You guys keep it going. Hello. I'm on the computer. My phone's blowing up. Aaron says, how old is Hannah? Coffee in hand, says Amber. Coffee in hand. Mm-hmm. Coffee and an aspirin. It works every time. Go away. Vic says she's 14, so she keeps me up to date with the new slang. Yeah. Has she called you a Rizzler yet? No cap. Aaron says Jake's phone brand is C4. It's blowing up. If only it was blowing up for the right reasons. Sadly, it was just YouTube. For those of you just watching, yes, I just lit a cigarette while I had one lit already. Amber says, I'm so happy I got to go to Dollar Tree today and get a pack of Thinking of You cards. Well, that saves a lot on brain power, for sure. But I would strongly recommend doing it in person. What are you going to do with those Thinking of You cards? Think of people? Are you going to strictly inform them that you are thinking of them, in fact? That's interesting.
That's a bummer, Aaron. Aaron says my daughter called me Unc the other day.
Oh, my God. Unc. That's like an insult and an insult. That was like a double whammy slap. Unc. I would be offended and upset. And a little amused, which is confusing. Amber says, anyone interested in my Thinking of You cards idea? Please let me have your address. What is your Thinking of You idea? Just Thinking of You cards? Is there like a thing that goes with that? Is it an idea? Aaron says, I just roasted her real bad. I got you. Maureen Flood says, hi, y'all. Hey, Maureen. Nice to see you.
Hi, Maureen.
It's a party now, Maureen Flood. What you doing out there in the world today, Maureen? Are you getting into any trouble? Hello. Debbie says, Aaron, my son calls me parental unit. Wow.
That's kind of funny.
As in us, Ensign Estevez. Humans. That's a Star Trek reference. Amber says, LOL, Jake. L. I'm guilty of annoying my friends often. I wore 'em down to be friends. I hear you. Well, you don't have to wear me down. I'm your friend. Full stop. No card needed. But if you want to send me one, you can. Linda says, you old, Aaron. Unk. Aaron says, I told her at least we don't eat bath soap. True. Amber says, Maureen, smiley face and hearts. Aaron says, I was like, y'all a bunch of rainbow brights. Tell her to stay away from the blue hair store. That's contagious. Next thing you know, she'll have a nose ring. The old septum piercing. You can't get a more loud expression of I hate men than the septum piercing. Aaron says, no, the heck she won't.
Aaron says, I draw the line.
Good daddy. And Maureen says, just watching. Now saving for a new computer. I hear you, me too. And Linda says, or Tide Pods, Aaron. Yeah, what was that all about? I remember hearing about that, but I don't think it works.
They were retarded.
I don't think anybody ever actually did it because I think you'll die.
That's just what was happening. That's why they had to put the warning labels on there. And the childproof tops.
I mean, I remember huffing model glue and gasoline. But Tide Pods, that's where I draw the line. Aaron says, yep, I have to show ID to buy super glue. Oh, my God. Kingdom Kid says, hello to all of you blessed people. Stay blessed. Jake is hope. Jake, I hope you're not mad at me for moving stuff around in the Kingdom Corner. Why would I be mad at you for doing that? That's your thing.
Hi, kid.
That has nothing to do with me. I'm not even sure I know what you're talking about. Is that just a clever way of advertising for your show on my show? Because that's a little frowned upon. Big John says, bought a smart fridge. It's smarter than my ex. Does it buy groceries? Because if it does, I'm pretty sure you can get rid of the ex.
She's an ex, so he probably already got rid of her.
Probably. Amber says, Kingdom, smiley face and prayers. And Aaron says, they was eating dish pods too.
Yep.
Crazy.
The dishwasher pods.
And Kingdom says, love back at you, Kingdom Kid. Nice to see you. And Soph says, it's working now. Oh, congratulations, you've solved that conundrum. Now what are you going to do about a job?
What kind of bug did it have?
Aaron says, Big John, I bet she's colder. Oh, yeah. And Debbie says, in my son's defense, when he introduces me to his friends as his mom, I say, well, it hasn't been proven with DNA. I went to the hospital with stomachache, and they made me take you home.
Right, Debbie?
That's horrible. I like it. Amber says, nugget, smiley faces, and prayers. And Debbie says, we are a sarcastic family. Well, I love sarcasm. That's my favorite form of humor, so you're all right by me. What I hate, without a doubt, is when people don't get that I'm joking. Because apparently I have a very dry wit. And if you're not paying attention, I'll slip one in on you. I'm very clever.
And he has RBF.
What is that?
Resting bitch face.
Yes, resting bitch face. So you can't tell I'm joking unless you know me.
He even gets me sometimes. I'll be like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm just kidding.
Victor says, I had a friend growing up that would do some stupid shit like huff gasoline on our quad rides, but I never seen him consume a chemical. That is mental illness or brain damage for sure. It's got to be. Amber says, I feel like I missed a lot of friends saying hello while I was making coffee. Well, here, that is a stern possibility. A lot of helloing going on this show. And Amber says, smiley faces, prayers, and hearts. Big John says, hi, Amber. Smiley face and kissy face. Aaron says, we played Dodge the Bullets in Chicago as kids. It's a popular game.
But Trump's not making it a not so popular game now.
Yeah, he ain't playing. That shit's going down. I'm actually kind of proud of my president right about now. He's making moves. Maybe it's Maybelline. Hello, Mabel. She says, ciao, everybody.
Hi, Mabel.
Nice to see you, sweet lady. How are you? Aaron says, now they dye their hair like Cheetos. I know, right? And then have the audacity to say that we are unstable. Big John says, I burned 1,000 calories today. I left the pizza in the oven.
That would do it.
That'll do it. Amber says, Nugget, oh no. And Mabel says, I'm good. Thank you, Jake. How are you? I am fantastic. I can't complain. I'm a happy, happy man. Life is good. It's good to be the king.
Yes. Spoiled king.
And Mabel says, hello, Amanda. My liege. I never understood that.
What?
My liege.
I don't know.
That's one syllable away from legion. Are you calling me a sore? A festering sore on your back? Aaron says, life is better without skinny jeans for men. I agree. I wear boot cut because I'm a guy.
Jake's got to have room to move.
But skinny jeans, ugh. Or the low-cut jeans that where have your ass crack is hanging out. I don't understand. It's like a grown man decided to wear a teenager's pants. Aaron's is terrible.
Aaron, test your memory about some MC Hammer pants.
What about them?
Remember back in the day, everybody used to wear the MC Hammer pants?
Yeah.
And the high top LA gears?
They're called parachute pants.
They're MC Hammer pants. They're different.
No, they're not. MC Hammer wore parachute pants. That's what they are. And then everybody started calling them MC Hammer pants because he's the only guy that would wear them. And then they became popular for about a month. Because everybody realized we look retarded in these pants. Kingdom Kid says, my daughter made the archery team for her school, and I was so proud of her. But now I got to turn around and get her a bow. Yeah. You know, you can just get a stick and a string and put that sucker on there, right? Linda Davis says, damn, Jake, you did it again. Get out of my head. I was going to say, they say kids in the 70s and 80s did dumb shit, right? Right. And Aaron says, they back. What, skinny jeans?
The MC Hammer pants.
Oh, the MC Hammer pants.
Awesome kid. Hope she does well.
Yeah. Stay away from the business end of that arrow, though. Those things are painful. Aaron says, yep, parachute pants. And I had gold ones. Wow.
LOL, Linda.
I never owned a pair of parachute pants. I did own some those vinyl pants that's made out of the same material, but they weren't the big ones. They had zippers on them. Because I'm a kid of the 80s, and we had to go through that. But I survived. And I even lived through the spandex phase.
Spandex and half shirts. And spandex and fishnet shirts.
Never did that. Because I'm straight. And a guy. But other than that. Aaron says, I was too legit to quit. Too legit to quit. Right on. And Debbie says, I miss the bell bottoms from the 70s. Me too. I actually like that style. And Amber says, yay, awesome kingdom. Dancing and smiley face. What it is. Nice to see you, my friend. He says, Jake, did you used to wear polyester bell bottoms or platform shoes? No, I'm from the 80s. I was born in the 70s. That's a little further back than me, though.
I'm an 80s baby, so I didn't have to deal with that stuff.
You're a 90s baby. You were born in the 80s.
I was born in the 80s, yes.
You were raised in the 90s.
Well, I was raised in the 80s, too.
Well, you were raised by old people, so you kind of got an 80s education, but you are a 90s child. Aaron says, Debbie, those are back, too. Bell bottoms? I can't wait to see it. I like the Elvis bell bottoms, the extended ones, you know, where they put the pleat in there. Amber says, no, Debbie, LOLO. Please, no. You don't like bell bottoms?
Hi, what is it?
What it is. When I say it, it's a chant. What it is. What it is. Like USA. You can't even say what is it without tripping over your own tongue. Trust me, I'm good at nicknames. Aaron says Vanilla Ice wore them too. I think he probably did, yeah. Vanilla Ice. It was between Vanilla Ice and Kid Rock. I'm so glad we went with Kid Rock. Because we could have continued with Vanilla Ice and that would have been bad. He knows it too, though. Now, what it is says, hello, Amanda, and to all Untethered Live. And that includes Jake. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. How you doing, buddy? Aaron says, my dad had a pink shirt and white bell bottoms and platforms with fish nets. Oh, my God. Did he walk into a room and go, dance? Aaron says he was crap, but he could dress. And what it is says spandex. Oh yeah, look like a pit bull trying to fight its way out of a garbage bag. Amber says, Aaron, smiley, smiley, helping my side of just no please. Smiley, smiley. Debbie says, Amber, I loved my bell bottoms. I even embroidered them with hand-painted them too. Hand-painted them too. Nice. Linda says, do you remember members-only jackets? I do. I had a members-only jacket. I also had a Thriller jacket. Because I was trying to find myself in those days. Big John says, they're airing their ways. Skinny jeans. And what it is says, I invited a friend to watch one of your recorded Bible studies, and he said he enjoyed it. Well, thank you, what it is. I appreciate that. Tell him to come to the live. I appreciate that very much. And Mabel says, Vic wears slim fit jeans with suspenders. I got it. And Vic says, hey now. Please tell me you're not one of those guys that puts the beeswax in his mustache and twirls up the sides. Are you one of those?
I can see him now, and the slim fit jeans with the suspenders and the button down shirt with the bow tie and the dress shoes.
Yep.
I can see
a
him now.
beatnik.
Yep.
Amber says, Debbie, me too, LOL. It's why I say no before the craziness starts, LOLO.
LOL, Mabel, that's cute. But see, he goes driving a truck. I bet he won't be dressing like that.
You have to get to wearing flannels and one of those big hats then.
He'll be wanting them comfortable clothes.
Amber says, yes, Linda. And Aaron says, oh, damn, Vic. What it is says, Amanda's just a baby. Yep. And Mabel says, yes, I like it. The suspender look. You like the suspenders? There's a place for that. I've worn them a time or two. Amber says, watermelon bottoms look nice in bell bottoms. What are we talking about?
I don't know what watermelon bottoms are.
Are you
I know
talking
what
about a
apple
girl with a
bottoms
big
are.
butt? And I cannot lie. Becky, oh my God, did you see her butt?
It was so big. Like some rap guy's girlfriend.
Victor says, I feel exposed. Wow.
LOL, not quite. What is it?
Aaron says, fun fact, Kid Rock was a break dancer and a Michael Jackson impersonator. Was he? I'd have to see that. I know he break danced, but I didn't know he was a Michael Jackson impersonator. I know that Bruno Mars was, and also an Elvis impersonator. Amber says, what it is, good evening, smiley face and prayers.
LOL, aw, poor Vic.
Aaron says, my mom could dance, and my dad danced like Stevie Wonder in a Stairmaster. I've never been a dancer. I've tried. It just doesn't work for me. I don't have two left feet. I have rhythm. I don't get the whole express the body thing. It just isn't me. I'm just not that expressive, I guess. I mean, I do my thing when I'm playing guitar. You know, I rock out, but I guess that's dancing too, because I move around a lot. But it's something about the repetition of it. It just doesn't feel natural to me. It feels like I feel stupid doing it, so I don't do it. I guess that's what it is. And it says, Jake in a Thriller jacket would be awesome, right? I could pull it off too, but you'd be surprised. I do have that kind of look. Matter of fact, there's a picture of me somewhere that's very Michael Jackson-esque. I kind of got that look. Or did for a little while. More Ozzy than Michael, but somewhere in the middle. Big John says, I'm a 70s child. Flares. Ain't nothing wrong with that, John. I love the 70s. I especially miss the girls with the little cotton shorts and the big tall socks with the 3 lines on them and the skates. But those little cotton shorts with the little piping around the edges, oh my God. And a real tight rainbow shirt or whatever with the little short sleeves that come up here. Good gracious. Ain't nothing sexier. That's like the start of every porno movie I've ever seen. Probably because they were all made in the 70s, but that's beside the point. Linda says, I have a leather jacket with fringe on the sleeves. Nice. You got a tassel jacket. Very nice. I used to have one. I don't have one anymore, though. I think it succumbed to a flood. Amber says, 08/30/77 here. Oh, your birthday? Nice. August 30th, 1977. December 10th, 1974. I'm pretty sure Ford was president when I was born.
Makes you ancient.
Yep, I remember dinosaurs.
Sure you're not a dinosaur?
And Aaron says it was it black, Linda? The jacket? Oh yeah, most definitely. I have leather jackets now. I wear like the Harley Davidson type jackets. But I go through phases. Sometimes I'll wear a bomber jacket. Sometimes I'll wear a tight fitting with, disheveled look jackets, leather. And sometimes I'll wear hoodies. I go through phases. I don't really care for the hoodie look, though, when I'm going out professionally. Big John says, I miss 70s. I had hair. I still have hair, John. I got enough for both of us. Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I won't have to suffer baldness. I'll probably die way before then anyway, but that's beside the point. And Linda says, well, yeah, duh. It was black. Of course it was. And Vic says, no, sir. No curly mustache for me. I shave once a year because it's a pain in the ass to keep up with. I like the slim fit, though. And get them worked in and greased up, and I can hang tools off my pants. I got you. I understand. So not quite a beatnik. I had a mental image there for a little while, like the 5-watt world guy. You can look that up on YouTube, 5-watt world. You'll get an idea of what I was thinking. Victor says, and do other very manly things. Your manlyhood is not in dispute, sir. Aaron says, I had the Moonwalker suit. That's the only time I had suspenders. Moonwalker suit. Is that the white suit? No, that's the smooth criminal thing. I'm trying to picture it.
That was the blue one, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I think he had like a silky thing on when he did the moonwalk.
Hold on. Or his red and black one.
I don't remember. I remember the first time he did the moonwalk, and it was on a big stage. Might have been for the Pepsi thing. It was some event that he was doing, and he pulled it out at the last minute.
It was the black one with the white stripe down the side.
I gotcha. Yeah. Like a marching band suit, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jackson had a very singular taste in clothing. Kind of armbandy, though. I have to question that one, but Dave Chappelle does that, too, with the armband. I don't get it. It's a thing, and I know that they're making a statement, but I don't understand what the statement is. Amy says, I'm taking out the trash. Don't talk back. Yaggity yak. I wonder if that hawk is waiting on me, or a raccoon. Maybe. Get your camera out. Take pictures. Aaron says, I'll find the video of kid Jake. He has on a blue jumpsuit. I remember years and years ago when he first came on the scene, and he was basically, what do you call that thing that they do with the record player? Is that called scratch? He was a scratch DJ.
Yeah.
So he was doing like parties, and I guess he would get up and dance and do other things like that. I don't know that he was doing an impersonation. He might have did a Michael Jackson dance. But as far back as I can remember, he was like a local DJ doing the scratch thing. And somehow that morphed into doing hip hop. And it was about the time that Ice Ice Baby came out that he got looked over. There was a thing about it. I don't remember if he sued Vanilla Ice or if they got in a fight. There was something going on between the two of them because Vanilla Ice took the spot that Kid Rock was promised. Kid Rock did all the work and Vanilla Ice just swooped in there and got it. But then Eminem came out and they both got screwed, so whatever. But Kid Rock eventually made his own course and did his own thing his own way, and it worked out just fine. But in the early 90s, there was like one spot for a white hip-hop guy. And Vanilla Ice had it. I don't know what he did with it because he didn't last much longer than that one album, but he got it for whatever. It must have been the hair. He had the Kid and Play hairstyle. That big bouffant, flat top with the fades. I wanted that hair so bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Aaron says, I hold your hand while you take out the trash. Aw. Debbie says, I think Urkel when I think of suspenders. Then I knew that. In a nasally voice. Then I knew that. Big John says, I was a skinhead in the 80s. White shirt, jeans, braces, 18-hole DM boots. Wow. I hear you, buddy. I was an honorary skinhead. There was a group called Sharp, SHARP. I'll let you look into what that is. But they made me an honorary member because I had cojones the size of coconuts. But I never did shave my head, so they wouldn't let me be a full-fledged member, and I didn't want to be. Aaron says, me too, LOL. Got any cheese? Got any cheese? What it is says, oh, no. Jake is Michael Jackson. Oh, I've got pictures. I don't know where you could find them. They might be on the Facebook page. I don't know if Amanda put any of them up there.
Which ones are you talking about?
The one where I vaguely look like Michael Jackson. There's a few of them.
I'd have to go look.
I look more like Ozzy, but the Michael Jackson look is in there, believe me. It's definitely inspired. Aaron says, gotta have red shoelaces, John. Then it's official, right? And Mabel says, I feel that I'm the only one here born in the 2000s. You might be, but that's okay. 2000s is a year, and you can be born in that time. It's quite all right. You're accepted. Victor says, yeah, hush now, child. The adults are speaking. How old are you, Mabel, if you don't mind me asking? I know you're not supposed to ask ladies how old they are, but...
LOL, Mabel, probably. You youngin'. I think she's 24. I think
25, yeah.
Victor said.
I believe they answered that question earlier. I just don't remember the number. And Mabel says, ahem. Is a polite way of saying, excuse me. Kid says, time to eat. Have fun. See you next time. Kingdom Kid, have a good time, my friend. Enjoy your dinner. I had lasagna for dinner, and it was delicious. Debbie says, Jake remembers dinosaurs. I remember doing my homework on stone tablets, right?
Night, kid.
Linda says, good night, kid. And Aaron says, hides the Tide Pods from the 2000 baby. Yeah. And Big John says, Aaron, boots was red and yellow laces. Nice. Amber says, have a wonderful night, kid. Smiley faces and prayers. Aaron says, you got it right. Jake, Moonwalker is the movie. The Smooth Criminal is the video. Got it. Okay, so you had to watch. I got it. Okay, with the fedora.
LOL, Aaron.
I thought you were talking about when he debuted the moonwalk on stage. I didn't know you were talking about a movie. Got it. No, I remember the first time he did the moonwalk, which is considerably older than you. Aaron says, oh, yeah, those two, John. And Mabel says, Aaron. Big John says, I was into two-tone music, skinhead music, and reggae mixed. I like reggae. I can get into some Marley. I like the more I like Bob Marley because he had his own sound, but I like the more hardcore reggae music, like the really powerful, energetic reggae. It's very kind of Latin to it. I'm into that. When I think of skinheads, though, I think of that movie American History X. And that big fat guy in the van singing. That's the kind of music I think of when I think of skinheads. Lady B says, nice shirt, Jake. Hey, everybody. Hugs to all. Thank you very much. And hello, and hugs back at you. And Victor says, she always asks why I keep the Tide Pods in the gun safe. Don't want to lose a wife. I got it.
Hi, lady.
And Aaron says, hold Doritos. Could be. I think that's a spicy meatball. I think that's what that means. I think that's the actual Italian translation. That's a spicy meatball. Lady B says, hi, Amanda.
LOL, Vic.
Big John says, hi, Lady B. Good to see you. Thumbs up. Aaron says, LOL, Vic, that's epic.
That is epic.
Lady B says, John, so good to hear from you. Hearts. Maureen says, liege, lord, Middle Ages. Oh, yeah, I know. Again, people don't know when I'm joking, apparently. But yeah, I understand, my liege. Lady B says, how are you, Nugget? John, I hope all is well. And Aaron says, I skinned my head once when it hit the ground and they brought the tracker and lifted it. Just kidding. Big John says, doing super fine. I hope you're doing okay, heart. Mabel says, I just turned 24 in August. Well, happy birthday. I think I remember wishing you a happy birthday, now that we're mentioning it. Aaron says, LOL, I got water older than you. You got water older than me?
Older than Mabel.
Oh. Aaron says, 1982, moonwalk, same age. And Lady B says, Nugget, I had a great weekend. Got together with some of my close friends this weekend. I've been friends with some since 6th grade. Thank you for asking. Wow, that's a long time to know anybody. I don't think I know anybody from that age. Aaron says, that black jacket was his mom's, and he got it at the last minute. I didn't know that. Big John says, Lady B, that's fantastic. I'm glad you had fun. Thumbs up my heart. And Victor says, you can gauge how upset she is based on how many of these she does. And Mabel says, hush, smiley faces. Big John says, Lady B, typo, you. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. I read it right. I got it. I speak typoese. And Amanda says,
So, Vic, after 3 of we should run?
yeah, if she starts twisting the wrist uncontrollably, she's about to blow a gasket. And Aaron says, technically, it's a chef's kiss. So she's really saying it's good. Amber says, Mabel, my son turns 23 in February. Nice. And Victor says, no, 3 were still good, but if you see 5 of them, it's too late. Amber says, my daughter's 27. Nice. You got some nice young kids. Mine is like 22 and 23 right now, I think. Or 22 and 22. I get confused. They're 10 months apart, so it's hard to keep up with it sometimes. April Rain's here. She says, hi, everybody. Hearts all over the place. Hi, April.
LOL. Okay, Vic. Thanks for the heads up.
Hey, hit that like button, everybody. There's 15 people in chat and only 8 likes. I need the likes. Hit the likes, please. They're free.
And hi, April.
Also, super chats are available in the chat box and CashApp $ Jake Johnson Band if you want to
Feed Jake.
Yeah, that's Feed Jake for the uninitiated. Amanda says,
Hi, April. I read both of those.
I didn't hear you because I was busy talking.
No, it was before you were talking. I said, LOL. Okay, Vic. Thanks for the heads up. And hi, April.
Amber Ground says, eyes, prayers, and smiley faces. Amy says, standing on top of a parking garage. That's a long way down. Well, step away from the corner, young lady. Step back from the edge. And Mabel says, I will with both hands, and you will be very sorry. And Victor says, atta girl. John says, don't know if you heard the specials, UK tone music like madness. I don't think I have heard of them. I'm not really up on the British invasion. I know some of it. Like, I was into the Rolling Stones, obviously, and some of the stuff that came out of the blues world. But I don't know a lot about punk or anything like that. Sex Pistols is about the limit of what I know. And anything beyond that, like underground or any really culturally important music, I wasn't paying attention to music at that time. I was listening to heavy metal, so I missed it. I do know a little bit about punk, but very little.
LOL, Mabel.
Aaron says, double fist Doritos. Gotta watch out. April says, hi. Amanda and Jake. Hearts, hi. Hi back at you. Victor says, it would be less intimidating if she was holding Doritos.
LOL, Vic.
Maybe next time she does that, just put a Dorito in her hand. Quietly. Just. And wait for the aftermath. Just look at her. Kind of step back a little. That's what I would do. Aaron says, hey, April, I heard sometimes it snows in April. And I was like, well, it does in one of my songs anyway. And April says, LOL, Aaron. Amy says, hi, Linda, what it is, Mabel, Amber, and anyone else I missed. And hi, April. Yeah, Linda, where you at? You ain't been talking. I miss you, girl. What you doing? April says, hi, Amy, love, heart. And Aaron says, hi, Amy. Did you see the trash panda? Hey, only I can call her Trash Panda. Amanda.
Well, he's not talking about me, Trash Panda. He's talking about the raccoon at the dumpster. What are you, Amanda? And I don't have anything to say there.
I said only I can call you Trash Panda.
Oh, yes. Only you can get away with calling me Trash Panda.
Mabel says, hello, Amy. And Amber says, I can't find the like and share. It's behind the 3 dots.
Double tap the screen for the like and got to close the chat with the X for the share.
There you go. Linda says, Vic, watch out. If she has a slipper in her hand, she'll make that thing turn corners to get you. I've seen women do that. I don't know how they do that. It's sneaky. They're like ninjas.
It's because we're good like that.
It'll get you every time. April says, LOL, Amber. Amber says, I will. Amy says, Amber, close the chat and press the thumbs up and share icon. And Amanda says, like is double tap the screen and share is behind the chat. You have to click the X. Got it. And Maureen says, me too, born in 62. Nice. Only 7 years later, it would have been nice. Nice. Aaron says, Vic, when she does this, just lick the Cheeto dust. Amy says, hi, Maureen. And Maureen says, hi, Amy. And Victor says, Linda, yes, ma'am. It's like she turns into Darth Vader and uses the Force. That can be exciting. Yeah, they like to get grabby with the neck, but you can do that lower. Oh yeah.
Glug 6000.
Linda says, hi, April. And April says, hi, Linda. Good to see you. And Walter Davis says, good evening, all. Hello, Walter. Nice to see you. Hang on, my chat jumped.
952.
9:52. Oh, I got it. Amber says, liked and shared on Facebook. Thank you, Amber. Amy says, the double tap thing only works on vertical. Got it. April says, hi, Maureen. Well, if you're on a phone, isn't that vertical?
No.
Oh, it only works if I'm in vertical.
Yes.
Got it.
Hi, Walter.
And Maureen says, you're just a baby, Jake. Yes, I am just a baby. I just happen to have witnessed the birth of fire. But I am a baby. You're correct.
My baby.
Amber says, cool, smiley, and heart. And Linda says, it's an Italian thing. We are both with that ability. Or we are born with that ability. Right on. And Mabel says, my mother was sharpshooter with slippers. Right. My mom just hit me with a coffee cup. Pow. So Fallon says, my YouTube is working. My mom fixed it for me. Did she turn it off and back on? I told you to do that. Walter says, going to sleep. A long day. My mother just went to bed. I hear you, buddy. Get you some rest. And April says, Victor and Mabel, hugs. Good to see y'all. Heart. And Maureen says, hi, April. Amy says, I still can't find you on Facebook, Amber. And Walter says, good night, all. Good night, Walter. And Mabel says, ciao, April. Aaron says, my mom could throw a shoe so good, or the phone with the cord like a boomerang. Damn right. And those phones were indestructible, too. You could throw them and bounce them off the wall, and they'd still work.
Hell, half the time you walk by them, bump the cord, and they fall off the wall and hit the floor.
Amy says, hey, Walt. April says, hi, Walter and Soph, heart and smiley face.
Night, Walter.
And Linda says, good night, Walter. Amber says, I don't know. Several friends I'm still looking for. Aaron said, mine had that look and a belt. Oh, yeah. My mom could put the fear of God in you with a look. She certainly could. And Amber says, I've Facebook posted. I'm here. Everyone is invited. Hearts, smiley faces, and prayers. Thank you. Amy says, Aaron, my mom used a wooden spoons. April says, Lamau. And Debbie says, you know how to keep an Italian from talking? Hold their hands. Apparently, me too. I talk with my hands also.
Yes, you do. Stop
it. I don't want Timu. My phone's trying to make me buy Temu. It's like they have it out for me. They keep getting more and more aggressive with their emails, and now it's popping up on my screen with the Emu store.
I can turn that off for you.
You might have to. It's starting to annoy me.
Okay.
April says, I know, right, Aaron? Lady B says, hey, April, how are you? And Amanda says,
LOL, right, Debbie?
Amy says, hi, Lady B. And April says, that look, LOL, arg. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't have the hatred in my soul to do it, I guess. But my mama could look at you and you would stop what you were doing and sit there quietly. She just look at you. I don't know how she did it. But it was the kind of look that made you think she was going to come out of her body. Aaron says, I never thought I'd miss her whooping me and her voice, right? It's funny what you miss when you get older and you don't have it anymore. When you realize that that's what shaped you into a human being in the first place. When suddenly you find yourself at the bottom of a coffee cup and you don't really know what to do about it. And then you realize you had it all one day, a long time ago. And soon you'll have to find another way to do things because you don't have that anymore. I do understand. I miss my mom like crazy. Amy says, hugs, Aaron. And April says, lady, doing good. And you? Hearts. Amy says, that's good, Soph. I'm glad you fixed your internet. Oh, my. Oh, my. Aaron says, April, that look could stop a fat kid from eating free donuts. Absolutely. April says, boy, I know the dagger look. Yikes. Oh, yeah. My mom was good at it. Soph Allen says, I'm so happy. I'm glad you're happy, Soph. Still haven't answered my question, though. And you're not getting away with it. And Lady B says, hey, Amy, sweetheart. And Soph says, yeah. Yeah is not an answer. Yeah is a non-answer. I'm looking for specifics. April says, Or no, she says, which is not spelled with M's. That's a U-H-H-U-H. Question mark. Amy says, if anyone wants to get a hold of Jake, here's his email address. Thank you, Amy. And that's untetheredlivestream@gmail.com. You can email me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I will respond. That is my professional email, so you can get me there. I'm also on Facebook if you want to hit me up that way. That includes Messenger. Mabel says, and this is why Aaron and Vic must be separated and not speak to each other during Bible readings. They can talk. Aaron says, April, if someone messed with us, if man, that look was ice cold. Yes. The mother look, ice cold. You're right about that. April says, oh my gosh, sounds like my mom. Wavy hands and covered eyes. Aaron says, Mabel, I would just pass notes in the church or text him. Victor says, just wait until you see who's sitting in my lap next Sunday, Mabel. That sounds like a threat. And April says, yes, Jake. And Mabel says, stop it. And Amanda says, LOL, Mabel. Hold on, my chat jumped. I hate it when that happens. LOL, Mabel. We will put them in different corners with the coloring books and crayons. Oh, my God. Thank you. Coloring books and crayons. That's cold right there. That's like a legit punishment. Yes, ma'am. Linda says, geez, I'm still cold. It's going to be down in the 30s tonight. Is it that cold up there already? Wow. It's like 60 degrees here, 50 degrees, something like that. Amy says, a good mom lets you lick the beaters. A great mom turns the mixer off first. Very true. Aaron says, I remember holding phone books. You ever been hit by one? That'll knock you out and not leave a mark. But yep, I had phone books. I still have a phone book, actually. I don't ever use it, but I have one. April says, OMG, Linda, wow. Where are you in North Pole? Not quite so high. And Mabel says, Amanda, yes. Amy says, Linda, it gets chilly at night here too. I'm delaying turning on my heater as long as possible, right? Yeah, I hadn't got to the heater stage yet, but come about 4 o'clock in the morning, I will get a chill. Have to wrap up in a blanket.
Don't let him lie to you. He just rolls me up. Takes my blanket.
Do that too. Linda Davis says, LOL, April, it's probably warmer there. Probably. Yeah, she's in Florida. Definitely warmer there.
We're at 56 right now.
Are we? Is it 56?
Yep.
I knew it was close to 60.
We are 56 degrees right now.
Big John says, my mom threw anything she had in her hand. Cans of beans was her choice. Ouch. I never got the can of beans, but I did get a coffee cup to the face once. Amy says, next Tuesday, Tucker Carlson and TPUSA is coming to campus. Nice. Are you going to go? I don't know if they're going to be doing anything like that around here or not, but I'm not even sure if we have a TPUSA here at Greenville, at ECU. Aaron says, Linda, if you do this with your hands, it will warm you up. You'd have to do it awful fast. Like preferably with a stick in each hand and something to blow on. April says, cool, Amy. I like it. I like something.
April says, cool, Amy. I like Tucker.
I like Tucker. Yeah. I like Tucker too, but he's getting a little weird. I don't know why. And Victor says, we just got permission, Mabel, so ha. Mabel says, oh, yes. Linda says, I got to get my boys to get the AC unit out of the window still. Ugh. You don't have to take it out. Just don't turn it on. I guess you want to seal it up, though, huh? I forget you're in a small space. Big John says, I'm 54 and still run from my mom now. She's 94. If my mom was here, I would run from her, too.
No, that was Linda. Linda's not in a small space.
Oh.
But she probably does want to seal it up, speaking she's going to have snow.
Linda. Yeah, I thought that was Amy for some reason.
No.
Amy says, can of beans? What kind? Aaron was mad at a can of beans as a youngster. Right. Aaron says, who is Tucker Carlson? Oh, public speaker. He used to be a news anchor, and then he got fired for telling the truth. And now he does a podcast like I do on Saturdays. Victor says, I retract my last statement for safety reasons. Probably smart. April says, LOL, John. Smiley face, waving hands. And Victor says, I mean legal reasons. Blink twice. Aaron says, blink if you need help, Vic. Remember, go for the Cheeto dust. And Linda says, Shush, Aaron, or I'll fly down there and put my cold feet on you. Oh, that sucks. Trust me, I know. Good gracious. The old cold feet attack, that's some harsh shit right there.
Just think it's coming.
Dead of wintertime? Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's coming.
You watch your mouth. I have feet too, you know.
Cold feet and cold butt.
Unfortunately. My butt don't get cold. I don't know why. Hers gets Arctic. She'll flip over and put that thing across my back, and I'll jump out of the bed.
Only when it's cold out, though. Any other time it's warm.
True. Vic says, blinks in panic. April says, smiley, smiley, wavy hand, Linda. Aaron says, I used to deliver phone books and do a paper route. I did a paper route once. Well, many, many years ago, both. I sold the paper door to door, and I delivered it, throwing it out the window into bags. So, that might have been my first job, actually. I had to be 11 years old when I was doing that. 11 or 12. Somewhere in there. Many, many moons ago. And I sold vacuum cleaners. It was called the TriStar. I could paint your house, cut your hair, trim your hedges. I could float steel balls in midair. I could drain the swimming pool. The only thing it would not do is cut your hair. Vacuum the floor. Every time you try to vacuum the floor, it would break. Like in 5 minutes. Big John hits me with £5 super chat. Thank you, Big John. I appreciate the super chat, the support. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Mabel says, there's just something in his eye. Do not worry.
Yeah, she done poked him in his eyeball with her finger.
As he blinks SOS repeatedly. So says, me too. I was born in 2002. Yep, that tracks. Aaron says, calls the Doritos police. No more. And Amy says, hang on. Amy says, take cookies, Linda. If you're going to fly down there and put your cold feet on Aaron, take cookies. Aaron says, Linda, you still baking? Of course she is. Amber says, doobie time. I hear you. There you go.
Copyright.
Doobie time. I didn't sing. Down around the corner, half a mile from here. Watch them freight trains rolling and you watch them disappear without love. Love, 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 without love. Sorry. Victor says, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo. Amy says, Scooby Dooby Doo. Amber says, Tucker's getting weird because they found his price, probably. Have you noticed it? Is it just me? It seems like he's getting weird, isn't it?
He's definitely getting weird.
I used to love Tucker Carlson. I thought he was the most honest man on TV. I would watch him over anybody else. And now, every time I watch him, I get a little skeevy. I don't know why. I hadn't heard him say anything wrong, per se. I just get skeevy. I feel like I'm being lied to for some reason. I don't feel like he's being honest with me anymore. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like he's getting weird. I trust my judgment, though. I've known myself long enough to know that I make good decisions. So I've stopped listening to Tucker for that reason. And Aaron says, prove it. Prove what?
Airplane, prove it.
Airplane, prove it?
Fly to Florida. Put her cold feet on him.
Oh, prove it. Yeah, I got it.
He'd probably rub them and warm them up for her.
He said, if you'll fly to Florida and put your cold feet on me, I'll buy the plane ticket. Just say it.
And warm her feet up.
Amber says, doobie doobie doo. Big John says, in Britain, we have ice here at night. Oh, we have it here too. Not right now, but in the dead of winter we do. We have a thing here called black ice. Do you guys get that? Black ice is the little patches of ice on the freeway or on the road that if you go over it, you just instantly lose traction and go wherever you're going to go, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's very dangerous. It's not like regular ice because, you know, the road freezes over all the time. That's not a problem. Usually you roll over that and you'll just break the ice. Black ice is like asphalt. It's like the oil freezes or something. The oil on the road. Whatever it is, when you hit it, you lose control. That's just all there is to it. Try doing that on a motorcycle. It's scary. April says, Lamau. Aaron says, Amanda's evil laugh is legendary. She was like, at the cold feet. Run, Jake.
Hello, Aaron. That's great.
And thanks again for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. Big John. Big boss, Big John. Look at you shine. And April says, thanks, John Love. Heart and thumbs up. And Amy says, thanks, John.
Woohoo. Thanks, Nugget.
Woohoo. I can't even make that noise with my face.
What? Woohoo.
Woohoo. Big John says, baked beans. Pow. Amber says, prayers and hearts. And Linda says, yes, still baking. I made cinnamon rolls the other day. My son has a request in for banana bread for the day after his competition. I would love to have some banana bread. That sounds delicious.
I don't know anybody that knows how to make it.
Well, gets to making, woman. Patty's here. She says, what's going on here? Peace and smiley face with cool sunglasses. Hey, Patty. Nice to see you, sweet lady. And Aaron says, oh, man, both are great. Both are great. Cinnamon rolls are awesome, by the way. I do love a good cinnamon roll. But banana bread sounds good, too.
Jake just likes junk food.
I do. I have a sweet tooth. I have a whole mouthful of sweet teeth.
Yes. Especially at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's amazing I'm not the size of this house. Because I eat some junk.
Feel him get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and hear him go to the bathroom, and then into the kitchen he goes.
You know those little Reese's candy bars that are like Rice Krispie treats? I can eat like 4 of those in one sitting.
And he does.
I try to stay at 2, but I can't eat 4, believe me. April says, sounds good, Linda. Yummy.
Nice, Linda.
And hi, Patty, says April. Smiley face with breasticles and a heart. Amber says, wow, John, my screen went green. Is it St. Patty's Day?
Hi, Patty.
Why did your screen go green?
When he made the super chat, it popped up with the super chat.
Oh, wow. Aaron says, ladies and gentlemen, Patty the legend. Peppermint patty. Peppermint patty cake. Baker's man. Roll them over, throw them in the pan. Amy says, I put a pork roast with red potatoes, peppers, and onions in the crock pot before I left for work this afternoon. That sounds delicious. That's going to be really tasty when you get home. Patty says, hi, ladies and gents. Ma'am, nice to see you. And Linda says, hi, Patty. Amy says, hi, Patty. And April says, I haven't seen him in a while, but I believe you, Jake. Who are we talking about?
Tucker, probably.
Tucker Carlson. Yeah. It's weird. I don't know what it is, and it might just be me, but Amber saw it too. He is getting weird.
I saw it too.
Amber says, Tucker once was a favorite of mine. Him and Jesse. Yeah, I like Jesse. Jesse's always seemed like a sellout to me, though. Jesse Waters, he always seems like he's in it for the paycheck. Tucker felt like he was, going against the machine to tell the truth regardless of what the cost was to him. It don't feel that way now. And I don't know what the difference is. Like I said, I haven't heard him say anything that I vehemently disagreed with yet or that I knew was a lie. But I don't get the same feeling from him as I did when he was on Fox News. It's just something in my instincts are telling me, not that guy, I don't know what it is. Tucker's filling in for Charlie. Oh, yeah. Well, everybody is, really. Everybody's stepping up trying to take that spot. Because, the sad truth of it is there's a certain amount of fame that comes with that spot. And now that Charlie's not there, nature abhors a vacuum, and all of the top players are going to swoop in to try to take that spot. Believe me. Believe me. It doesn't matter if they're getting shot at. They want that fame. But they're also all friends of his, so they might just be doing it for that reason, too. Some of them will be doing it for that reason. Some of them, like Glenn Beck, trying to get his little foot in the door. That's just the way it is. Some people that had nothing to do with Charlie, like Ben Shapiro, all of a sudden taking up the mantle for Charlie seems a little disingenuous. But I might be wrong. I'm just airing my grievances. And Big John says, Linda, they're my favorite. Yummy. Patty says, I like Tucker, especially when he goes after TVA. I don't dislike Tucker. Like I said, he used to be my favorite speaker. There's just something about him now that is bothering me, but I don't know what it is. But I have pretty good instincts, so there's that. Amber says, Nugget, invite me to Britain. Oh my gosh, how beautiful. Amy says, which ice? The frozen kind or the immigration kind? Ha ha ha. They probably have that there too. Mabel says, when I come to Canada, I do not know what is black ice. And Vic kept telling me about it when he would slip, and I thought he was making excuses. I did not believe it. Oh, yes. No. If you're driving down the road and you hit a patch of black ice, you've lost that car. It's going where it's going to go. The best thing you can do is let go and let off the gas and just wait. You're going to land where you land. And that's not an excuse. He is absolutely right. I hit black ice and just went doing 360s one time in the middle of the road. There was nothing I could do about it until I hit a curve. Thank God I was only going like 25 miles an hour when I hit it, but if I'd have been going 60, that would have been a car crash. There's nothing you can do about it, and you can't see it until you hit it. So they call it black ice for that reason. Maureen says, blessed night, folks. Maureen, good night, sweetheart. Sleep tight wherever you are. And Linda says, good night, Maureen.
Night, Maureen.
Amy says, good night, Maureen. And April says, good night, Maureen, love. Heart. Maureen says, thanks, y'all. Big John says, Amber, everyone's welcome over here. You all got invites. Thank you, Big John. Amy says, I can make banana bread. Nice. April says, yummy. Smiley face. Amber says, Maureen, hearts and prayers. I love you, my sister in Christ. Hearts and prayers and smiley faces. Amy says, I make a really good chocolate zucchini bread, too. If I had an oven, that is. I've had the zucchini bread, and it ain't bad. I've never had chocolate zucchini bread, but I've had the zucchini bread. It ain't bad at all. Amber says, Nugget, how dreamy. Bunch of hearts. Watch out there, John. You have an admirer. Victor says, is there a black purse in here? No. I don't understand the question. A black purse?
I think it's something to do with a video or something that they've seen and we haven't.
Apparently. Amber says, I wish I could, Amy. I love banana bread. Amy says, ha, ha, ha. I love that video, Victor. Apparently, I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
Linda says, Victor, smiley, smiley. Victor says, shh. Well, now I'm curious. Now I got to know what it is. I guess I'll be typing black purse. Aaron says, I wonder what a hybrid veggie would be like if they made it mix with a desert plant. I don't know. Is that a joke or are we talking seriously? You mean like a zucchini and a cactus? I don't know. What is a desert plant? Cactus is the only thing I can think of. Pepper, maybe. A zucchini and a pepper? Could you crossbreed that? I don't know. Big John says, I made orange and chocolate cake the other day. Nice. Weird, but nice. Mabel says, bad, bad, bad. Shaking my head. Amber says, smiley faces. Aaron says, yes, there is a black purse in here. Don't know what that means. Unless you're talking about a coin purse, in which case I do know what that means. Weird. Amy says, I noticed it brought Crowder out of retirement. He's guarded heavily. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to do everything he can to be in the spotlight for sure. I don't think that's disingenuous, though. I think he actually did start the change my mind thing. And he actually did back away when Charlie started getting popular. So it is his right to take the mantle up before anybody else gets it, I guess. But, you know, power to him. I always liked his segment, too. Although I think Charlie did it better. Crowder's a little bit hot-headed. Not likely to reach across the aisle. He just wants to beat you with the truth, you know. Whereas Charlie Kirk would try to reach across the aisle and make sense with the other person and have empathy with their side of things. And Crowder's like, nah, bitch, this is the way it is, you know. So, whatever. I do like Crowder, and he looks better with a beard. Victor says, where's the black purse in here, Aaron? And Linda says, oh, that's mine, Aaron. Smiley face. Aaron says, ha, 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 Linda. Amy says, ha, 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 Linda. There's a white person here, too. And Aaron says, it's very well made. I do not know what this joke is. I'm in the dark. And Victor says, yeah, Linda told me there was a black person here, so I came to see. Stiff upper lip. Amber says, me too on the Tucker vibes, right? I'm not sure what it is, and I imagine eventually we'll find out. Eventually it'll slip, and somebody will say something, but right now it's just, I don't know. I just get skeeved out by him, that's all. Aaron says, LOL, Amy. And Amy says, I like your hair, Linda. Aaron says, looks for the purse. Victor says, in here? Big John says, Jake, did you see Trump mug Keir Starmer off the other day? It was priceless. Like a spoiled kid. I did not see that, but I did see him get the Prime Minister of Canada. It was one of those highbrow flap downs. You know, where you say something very clever and it's really insulting to the other guy and nobody gets it. I saw that, but I didn't see him do it to Keir Starmer. I'd like to see it, though. But he was doing a press conference with all the leaders, and he called the guy in Canada the president of Canada. And at the end, they was like all shaking hands, and there was a hot mic, and they were talking, and he says, I appreciate the upgrade. And Trump says, what do you mean? He said, you called me president. I'm the prime minister. And he just kind of patted him on the back. And he said, I could have called you governor. I thought that was funny. At least I didn't call you governor. That goes back to the America buying Canada joke or meme that was going around for a while. Anyway, what did he do to Keir Starmer? Aaron says, yup. And Amber says, Aaron, what purse? It's an inside joke, and we're not on the inside. So
We're getting there.
Aaron says, the black purse. And Victor says, the black purse in here, Amber. Don't know what it means. Amber says, I'm eyeing you, Aaron. What does the bag look like? I'm thinking it's a coin purse. I'm not sure, though. Victor says, I'm dying. I know you are. It's very rare that you get one over on me, but you got one this time, so enjoy it.
And double rare that you get one over on both of us, so.
Aaron says, hang on.
Aaron says, Amanda, it's a joke. Black person here is a play on words.
Oh, black person here. Yes. I got it. Okay. Duh. Now I got it. I don't know why I didn't see it. I don't know why we don't just bring that guy that keeps coming here and asking me if I'd like to see Nick grow his knee.
It's like that. I commented a couple of ones down, but like that commercial ad thing that we saw the other day. Remember for what was it, Nickelodeon or Nick at Night?
Something I vaguely remember.
You remember? You say it fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that at all. I wasn't even thinking down those lines. I should have seen it, and I didn't. It's right in front of me. If it was a snake, it would have bitten me. And Big John says, black ice, you can't see it. It's like water. Right. It really is. And Amanda says,
LOL. Okay, Aaron. Jake and I saw the video the other day. That was messed up, but funny.
Aaron says, no, like a desert plant, like sweet chocolate and tomatoes hybrid. Oh, I don't know. I don't think chocolate is a plant. I think you have to get that out of a bean. I don't think it's chocolate until you add stuff to it, though.
Oh, cocoa bean is chocolate.
It's what they make chocolate out of, but it's not chocolate when it's a bean. You have to add stuff to it to make it chocolate. So I'm not sure if that would work or not, but it could. It could, maybe. I have a black thumb, so I don't grow anything. Amber says, I'm a shoe and a bag freak, LOL. Coordinate. I hear you. Got to get your accessories right? Got to accessorize. And Victor says, ℂ𝕚𝕝𝕝, you got me. I stand got. And Debbie says, is there a black person here? And opposed to a black person in here. Oh, I got it. It just took me a minute. It took them explaining it to me because apparently I'm dumb. And I'm the guy that's the alliteration king. I love plays on words, and I just didn't see it. I guess I approached it with naivete.
We don't think along them lines normally.
Aaron says, Amanda showed Jake later, and he will love it. I do love it. Amber says, flip-flops match the tote bag. I'm over 40. 4-inch heels are rare these days. I hear you. I'm not a flip-flop kind of guy. I don't like them. I think they should be burnt and stay in the trailer park, but that's just my opinion. But most girls love flip-flops, and I don't know why.
Because they're comfortable, quick, and easy.
And they make you sound like this when you walk by.
That's only certain people. Some people don't walk like that. You can walk in flip-flops without them flip-flopping.
All I can see is you dragging your feet.
Oh, my flip-flops don't flop and I don't drag my feet.
Aaron says, Amber, you would have to go look.
What video, Aaron?
Aaron says, the one of the black person here. For some reason, I'm seeing that bartender character from The Simpsons yelling out, is there a black person here? Amber says, wait, black bag means what? Black person here. Is there a black person here? You got to put the syllable on the wrong emphasis. And Debbie says, a black lady walks in and says, is there a black person here? And the people behind the counter thought she said, is there a black person in here? It was supposed to be a joke. It was a joke. It was funny. I just didn't get it, which makes it even funnier. Because I usually get it, but I didn't this time. Whew, right over the head. April says, y'all, my pumpkin pie turned out so good, I'm going to make another one soon. Right now, I'm baking chocolate chip cookies. Very nice, April. You go, girl. Where's my chocolate chip cookies? I work hard. I don't even get a chocolate chip cookie.
I got a chocolate chip cookie for you, all right.
You keep that brown eye in your pants. April says, thank you, Debbie, for context. And Victor says, Linda told me there's a black person here, so I came to see Jake 2025. I was today years old when they got me. Amber says, yay, April. And April says, I know, I'm so proud of myself, LOL. I'm proud of you too, honey. Amber says, both my children are half PR. Do I get dibs on black purse gig? What does PR stand for? Pro racehorse? Pontificating rebellion? Planet retard? Pulse raptor? Punch rigger? Parental retaliation? Fat Rastafari? I could do this all night.
LOL, April burns water. Good job, April.
Very good job. Amber says, April, yeah, you very well should be proud. Smiley faces. And April says, thanks, Amber. Amber says, Amanda, smiley face and dancing. Big John says, my ex used to explode eggs. Was she cooking them in a microwave? Aaron says, burning something wet is a talent. It can be. Amber says, LOL. Girl, I'm wanting a piece of the bread. That sounds dirty. April says, huh? John, explode eggs? How? Microwave. Put an egg in the microwave and put it on 10 and see what happens.
LOL, April. Microwave.
Mabel says, Vic has been hyperventilating, laughing for the last 5 minutes. Actual tears. That's why we're here, folks. Nobody's having more fun than we are. I guarantee it. It's the best place on the internet right here on Untethered Live. Big John says, April, boil them water evaporated. Oh, evaporate all the water out. That'll do it too. And April says, oh, I got you. 3 eggs. Ugh. Amanda.
LOL, Maple.
Victor says, I'm sorry, Jake. Thank you, sir. That made my night. I'm glad it did, buddy. I've got no problem making a jackass of myself for your entertainment. And April says, OMG, smiley face. Amy says, wet leaves are just as slick as ice. Oh, yeah. Especially on a motorcycle. And Aaron says, banana and cabbage. Gross. April says, y'all are making my night. Love the conversations. LOL. Smiley face and thumbs up and hearts. Big John says Trump called him over and said a couple of words, and then Trump turned away from him and left him hanging. Ha-ha. So he got snubbed. Got it. That's what happens. Trump is a boss when it comes to dealing with people, like in a crowd. He's going to dominate the room, and if you ever have to have a handshake with him, get prepared, because he's going to shake you around like a rag doll and not let go. He did that to the president of France. Grabbed him by the hand and wouldn't let him go. It's kind of funny. I guess it's a president. Might be a prime minister. What do they do in France?
Prime Minister, I think.
I'm not sure. And April says, I love flip-flops. I know you do. Flippity-floppity, 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 flippity-floppity. April says, right, Amanda. Thumbs up. And Aaron says, burnt and stay in the trailer park. LOL. New shirt. Burn down the trailer park. Kick the pink flamingos out in the yard.
With the flip-flop.
Amy says, my sister's the smoke alarm as a kitchen timer. Aaron says, oh, Mo from The Simpsons. Bart used to get him to say stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. Is there a black person here? April says, LOL, cool, Aaron. You could make a patent. A patent? A patent?
Patent on his burn the trailer park shirt.
A PATENT?
Yeah. This is April.
Monkey Juice says, oh no, black jokes. Nope, just the one. Monkey Juice. Here it is. To answer your question from 2 weeks back. Where's all the peace at? April says, hi, Monkey Juice. Good to see you, smiley face heart. And Amy says, Mo from The Simpsons. Right on.
Hi, Monkey.
April says, LOL, Amanda. Smiley face, covering eyes. Amy says, Monkey, we're talking about purses. Purses.
I was going to say, be careful how you say that. Don't say that too fast.
Aaron says, you missed the one about trash pandas and staying in the trailer park, Monkey. And Debbie says, wordplay, like the t-shirt that says, hold on, my chat jumped.
10:35.
Like the t-shirt that says, make who cheesy. Cheeses Harry.
Mike who cheeses Harry.
Yeah. That, get a razor. April says, LOL, Jake. Big John says, Jake, did you hear Elon Musk is funding Tommy Robinson's court case in Britain? I did not. That's good news. Maybe he might actually get out of trouble now. He's been going after that for about 5-6 years now, hasn't he? It's been a while. Yeah, they've been after him for a long time. He even did some jail time. I don't know if he's still in jail or not, but he was the last time I heard. Poor guy. That's just for speaking the truth. And Patty says, I think racist jokes are funny. I'm a lowlife. No, I think they're funny too, but you got to be in good graces with your company before you can have those kind of jokes. I'm from the sticks and stones generation. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but a liberal will always find something to complain about. That's how I feel, but I think if it's good, that's the thing. If it's a racist joke or a religious joke or any kind of touchy joke, it has to be a good joke. If it's a good joke, it passes. If it's done in poor taste, not so much. Coming into a chat room and saying, can you say Negro? That's not funny. That's poor taste. That's some child trying to make a scene. The black purses, that was funny. April says, OMG, Patty, smiley face and wavy hands. And Amber says, Puerto Rican. Right on. Or is that Petro Rican? Haha, I get it. Aaron says, Patty, they are funny as long as they're clever. Right, they got to be good. Patty says, I take strippers out for breakfast. You can add that to my checklist. I'm a lowlife. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, strippers got to eat. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Amy says, Trump is the troll king. Heart. He is that. And Patty says, I got kids I've never seen, and their mama's 17. I'm a lowlife. This must be a song.
Patty's just being funny tonight.
I got you. It's a good song. April says, thanks for the correction. Wavy hand, smiley face. My pleasure. I am the English Nazi.
Grammar professor.
Vic says, better run through the jungle and don't look back again. Amy says, next time someone comes into chat saying free Palestine, we can say Trump did. Yep. Now what are you going to do? I suspect that's going to die down, though, because those people don't have a leg to stand on or a moral to hold up in the wind. They just want to belong to something, so they'll move on to the next thing, the next slogan, because they're not real people. They're just children with nothing to do. Puppets. Useful idiots. Morons, the lot of them. I said it. Big John says, Macron, I saw the handshake. That was priceless. And being jerked around by big old 6'4" Trump. That's hilarious. And Patty says, I like the kid. Peace. He lets his freak flag fly. Right on. Aaron says, Vic, do it naked.
LOL, yes, Amy. LOL, Patty.
And Vic says, bold of you to think I haven't, Aaron. Damn. Here you go, boy. Aaron says, Mabel's running after Vic like. Vic says, it's actually my favorite pastime. Through the thick Canadian woods. Right on. Patty says, Kid Rock loves President Trump. He does that. And Amy says, I'm in the bathroom. Can anyone hear me peeing? I can. Just so you know. You forgot to turn your microphone off. Aaron says, Northern Canada is nice. Never been there. I imagine it is nice, though. Big John says, Jake, got a question for you. What's the saying from the river to the sea? What's the real meaning? From the Jordan River to the Red Sea is Canaan, or the West Bank. And the saying means extinguish all people from the river to the sea, from the Jordan River to the Red Sea. And all of those people are Jewish. It is a very anti-Semitic thing to say. That's what it really means. And it's also steeped in religious lore, too, because all of that land was promised to the Israelites by God according to the size of their family by lot. So every piece of property from one side of that land to the other has been promised away. So it doesn't belong to them. And they're saying to kill every living thing there and take it back, which is bad. Amy says, tell them about back beans, Aaron. Aaron says, Amy, I knew a girl that used to put a Ziploc bag in a purse so in emergencies she could pee in a purse. That's horrible. Why don't you just pee on the ground? And April says, oh, I know it, Jake. I love it. You must be talking about something I've forgotten about. And Big John says the British government are calling Elon racist and far right. He's not, nor is Tommy. Yeah, I know that. I know that. It's amazing that when you start doing something that goes against the narrative, how all of a sudden you become a Nazi or a fascist or a racist or something like that. I've done stopped listening to anybody that uses those terms because they're not engaging in the argument. They're just trying to shut it down. Because used to, if you called somebody a racist, that was painful. They didn't want to be called a racist, so they would back away and stop talking. But those days are gone. Now it just pisses you off when you get called a racist. Now I want you to believe I'm a racist. If you're going to call me that, I might as well at least be guilty of it, right? Amy says, ooh, Aaron, and Fab Daddy's here. What's up, Fab Daddy? He says, makes me want to say free Palestine. It's already been done. And Trump did it. Do you like apples, Fab Daddy? Well, Trump freed Palestine. How do you like them apples?
Hi, Fab.
Aaron says, oh, that I wanted to fight in the Spanish store because I thought black beans in Spanish was racist and ran out of the store because it said negro on the... I got it. Yeah. Well, no, the word negro is a slang for the color black in Spanish because... Newsflash, before we came over here as pilgrims, this place was covered by Spaniards. And so there was a lot of Spanish, English, Anglo-Saxon mixtures going on at the time, which is where the word negra comes from, Spanish, which means black. But newsflash, in case anybody's ever been not looking, you're not black. Look down. That's a brown color. I don't know why they ever did that, but that's where it came from. That's the history of it. Fab Daddy says, good evening, everyone. Fab Daddy, my friend, how you doing, buddy? And Amanda says,
Trump did.
April says, Jake's chat's gonna jump.
10:46.
Thank you. $10.46.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
April's comment at 10:46.
Yep, got it. Fab Daddy, how are you? Good to see you, says April. Smiley face and heart. Linda says, hi, Fab. Amy says, hey, Fab. And Mabel says, good night, everybody. We are going to have movie night tonight. And thank you, Jake and Amanda. Thank you. And what are you guys watching tonight? And good night. I hope you guys have a great night and enjoy your movie. Fab Daddy says, I'm great. Just spent time with family visiting from Hawaii, so I ate Hawaiian food tonight. Nice. So you had Spam and pineapples. Now Linda says, nice, Fab.
Night, Mabel and Hannah. Enjoy the movie.
Good night, Anna and Vic. Amy says, I gave the rest of my salad to one of the temporary workers on third shift, and he said something about not having anything for lunch. So I gave him a salad and a banana. That was very sweet of you. Thank you, Amy. And Vic says, good night, folks. Jake, thank you, sir. And thank you, Amanda. And Aaron, please note.
Pass this note.
Pass his note. Shh. Got it. Well, good night, Victor, and enjoy your movie. Aaron says, negro feijoa, black beans. So when I first read it, I was like, WTF, this is racist. So you actually felt that way. I got you. We live and we learn. Amanda says, good night, Vic. You say that.
Good night, Vic.
Linda says, good night, Vic. Mabel. Heart. Big John says, hey, Fab, good to see you. Did you have a hula hoops chips? Hula hoops chips. And April says, good night, Mrs. Mabel. Much love and hugs. God bless. And Amy says, I don't have a lot of money, but I'll feed the hungry person. That's all you got to do. And God notices those things, Amy. Believe that. That's why you get fed. Believe that too. Aaron says, watch as Mabel go. No notes. And April says, I just love you, Jake. Smiley, hearts and thumbs up. Well, I just love you too, April. Thank you. And Amber says, I'm getting hungry. Patty says, there's an enormous amount of oil in the Gaza Strip. Has anyone else heard this? I have heard this. There's an enormous amount of oil in the United States, too. Mainly around Pennsylvania and Texas and Maine. There's a little bit here in North Carolina. And Aaron says, hungry?
Yeah, Amy said she feeds hungry, so Aaron's hungry now.
I got it. Fab Daddy says, ℂ𝕚𝕖𝕣𝕖𝕕𝕃𝕚, a pork, and a lomi salmon. So, spam and pineapples. Got it.
Fish and pineapples.
Mm-hmm.
And pork.
Kamakalikali.
Come on, I want to lay it? What? Oh, I mean, yeah.
You just want cream of some young guy.
Cream with Jake. It's FDA approved.
Oh, yeah. It's in there. It's what's for dinner.
It's what's for dessert.
It's what's for dinner. The other white meat. Amber says, Fab, smiley face and prayers. And Aaron says, I was like 8, Jake. I didn't know better. I hear you. I could understand that. That makes perfect sense. Have I seen footage of Palestine, Jake? I've seen more than footage of Palestine, Monkey Juice. I've studied the area intensely. I know more about Palestine than you ever will. So, yeah, I get what's going on over there. I know when the problem started, and I know how long it's been going on, and I understand the tensions in the region on both sides, and I also know how it's going to turn out. But thanks for asking. And also, Palestine's not a real place. It's not on a map. Doesn't exist. Palestina means new city. It was a promise made by a pope to a burgeoning religion that was never fulfilled. Because it can't be fulfilled because that land belongs to somebody else already. Amy says, sounds good, Fab. April says, nice, Fab Daddy. Sounds like you had fun. That's awesome. Never been. Never been either. But it's in the United States, so it's not like you're going anywhere. It's just like being in Florida, but with grass skirts. And Hawaii. You know, like Tom Selleck's there occasionally. And fat guys with little tiny guitars. Amber says, Lady B, good evening, lovely. I hadn't heard Lady B say anything in a while. I think she fell asleep. Aaron says, brown like the ground we came from. That's right. Everybody's a different shade of brown, even us. Very little brown, but it's in there. Big John says, thanks, Jake. That's what I thought. But the British government won't arrest no one for saying that. Thank you. Well, it's a horrible thing to say, whether they get arrested for it or not. It's a horrible thing for a person to chant, especially if they're not from the region, like the white people over here that are doing it on college campuses. They don't even know what they're saying. They're just saying a chant that they heard somebody else say. They don't know what it means, and they don't understand the gravity behind it. So that's what makes it horrible. Other than that, we are basically reacting to a narrative that's been built for us in this country. Nobody here knows what's going on over there because they're not there. If they were there, they would have a completely different feeling about the situation. Unfortunately. Amber says meatloaf? Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Amber. But if you have sex by the dashboard light, you're getting there. Like a bat out of hell. Aaron says Palestine looks on a map. It's not there. Amy says, I've seen footage of Portland, LOL. A bunch of furries and Antifas. It's furry Tifa. It's a bunch of children cosplaying war is what it is. Until somebody gets killed, that's what they think they're doing. I hate to tell you this, but if you're involved in all of that monkey juice, you're involved with a bunch of children cosplaying the end of their life. Because if you come around adults doing that sort of thing, you're liable to get shot. Just saying. Not the whole country doesn't do things like that. So enjoy it while you can, but if I was you, I'd grow up quickly. Because very soon, and write it down that I said so, this entire country is going to turn against you and your belief system. It is only hanging on by a thread. If I was you, I would make inruns to get on the other side of that hill before it collapses on you. Because it will. Because the adults are just about tired of playing dress up. And April says, have you ever been to Hawaii, Fab Daddy? Good question. And Monkey Juice says, just asking, make your own judgment. I don't have to make a judgment. I deal with facts. I don't deal with judgments. I'm not a child. I know the actual history of the environment. I'm not talking to you from a narrative standpoint. I'm not the news, and I'm not your little furry buddies. I don't have a nose ring. I'm talking to you about real life. It's not my judgment. And that's the problem between you communicating with me and me communicating with you. One of us isn't listening. Amy says, my sister was born in Hawaii and my dad was stationed there. Nice. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, but it's kind of been touristified. I would have loved to have gone to Hawaii in the 80s, early 80s, or even 70s maybe. Maybe 60s, 70s. Well, I would have loved to have went. But now, no. Now everybody hates you there, and it's all touristified. So I don't think I would enjoy it, and everything's mad expensive. But back in the day when Hawaii was a cool place, I would have loved to have been there. Amanda says, Monkey, show me Palestine on a map. He can't. And Monkey Juice says, right, Amanda, I can't. Exactly. And Aaron says, Amy, your people come up on my Facebook for recommended. Well, that's good. And Fab Daddy says, April, I was born in Honolulu. Really? Cool. I didn't know that, Fab. That's sweet. Good thing you didn't get that volcano up your butt. That's the problem I would have with living in Hawaii. Too close to a volcano. And I just can't square with that. That's like living in Yellowstone. I'm sorry. I don't have a death wish. I don't like buffalo that much. So
It's like living in California. I'm sorry. I don't want the ground opening up beneath my feet and me having no warning.
I understand that, but we do live in a place where weather wipes us off like an Etch-a-Sketch every 10 years.
But we have a warning. We know it's coming.
This is true.
So we have a chance to get away from it.
Yeah, every 10 years, Florida goes, nope, we're doing it again.
Yeah, but we know that's happening. You don't know the ground's going to open beneath your feet in California.
True. Well, if you have dogs, you know.
Yeah, if you're at home to pay attention to your dog when it just happens.
And Amanda says,
monkey? Oh, I already said that one. Okay, just checking to see if you lost your mind completely too, monkey.
no, I think Monkey's coming around. I think he's seeing the light. He might not want to admit it, but I think he's seeing that there's some holes in his narrative. I hope he is anyway. I'm praying for you, Monkey. I'm rooting for you, buddy. What's the number again?
Hold on. 1054.
Amy says, my people, smiley face, your people. Amber says, I always give food if anyone is hungry, as you should. Never give bums money, unless you don't mind if they buy drugs with it, because that's what they're going to do. Aaron says, LOL, bye for Tifa. Amy says, that's sweet, Amber. And Amber says, no, Amy, the way the old folks raised me. Right on. Amy says, driving home, y'all. See you Friday night. I'll try to be here, but it's getting extremely busy on campus. Understood. There's no harm in you keeping your job done. But we love you and have a safe trip home.
Night, Amy.
I'm not far behind you. It's getting late, and I'm getting tired. Amanda says, stay safe, Amy. Prayers and smiley faces and hearts.
Amber said that.
Amber said it. What did I say?
Me.
Amber said that. Stay safe, Amy. Linda says, good night, Amy. Drive safe, heart. And Amy says, 10:57:02. I clock out. It says 11 p.m. Well, then I would wait till 11:03 before I clocked out.
Why?
Because then it would say 10:57:02.
No, she clocked out at 10:57:02, and the clock out time says 11 p.m. It gave her the 3 minutes.
Oh, I got you. Amy says, love you, Amber, Linda, Amanda, Aaron, John, and Jake. I love you, too. Be careful. Aaron says, they round up 6 minutes window. That must be nice for them. I want my 6 minutes. April says, sorry, I was taking the cookies out. Well, no need to apologize. I'm sure they can handle it. Fab Daddy says, I looked at a map produced before World War II, and Israel was called Palestine. You may have found a map that was colored on, but that land is not called Palestine. I'm sorry. If there was a map produced that had that on it, it was corrected, which is why it no longer is there. Just because somebody makes a thing doesn't make it a fact. No current map says Palestine. And I doubt that what you saw was a real map, because Palestine has never been a real place. So if there was a map that had the word Palestine on it, it's a map that somebody made to trick you into thinking Palestine was a real place. It's not a real map. Sorry. Amanda says, drive safe, Amy love, heart. And Aaron says, I found Palestine on my everything is bullshit map. Big John says, that's why Trump stubbed Starmer wants to recognize Palestine as a state, and he is so fake. Right. Well, Palestine is not a state. And Juice says, right on, fat duh. What does that mean?
Fat Daddy. Fab Daddy.
Oh, Fab Daddy. Got it. Well, you can say right on all you want. Show me that map now. I would like to see that map. Look down in the place where it says made by and see who produced it. See if any other maps in the world corroborate with it. Go find it. I would like to see it. If you can't find it mysteriously, my suggestion is you didn't see what you thought you saw. But if you can find it, I would like to know who produced the map. Because no map I've ever seen has the word Palestine on it. Period. Unless it's a map that produces wishful thinking. That might be. And Monkey Juice says, yeah, right, Jake. I assume you mean the you're waking up statement? Well, that's a sad thing, Monkey Juice. You know what that means, and I'll tell you your future here. If you can't find your way to the seeing reality for what it is, you will eventually get kicked out of here. Because I'm only going to allow so much latitude of nonsense before I remove it. Because all you're doing at that point is being a stumbling block for people that are trying to find the truth. And I don't think that's what you intend to do, which is why I haven't kicked you out yet. But make no mistake about it. If I can't rescue you from your idiocy, you don't belong in my circle. Because my circle, the only place you can be in here is if you're thinking clearly.
And Bible studies is going to 100% zero tolerance.
So, understand where you stand. I love you, and I want you to do good in your life. And I also know the only way you can do that is if you see reality for what it is. If you insist on the left-wing bullshit, you will eventually get removed from here. I'm just telling you. So you can either struggle with the truth or leave. One or the other. And Debbie says, if I remember my color wheel correctly, the three primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. Orange is a secondary color. All tans and browns come from orange, so we are all just shades of orange. I don't know if that's true or not because I'm not really good with colors.
I think she's about right there.
Probably. I thought that yellow, blue, and red were red, blue, and green. I thought red, blue, and green were primary colors. I don't think yellow is a primary color. It might be, though, because I'm not real good with that. That's not my strong suit, Debbie, so I'll defer to your intellect on that one because I'm not sure. Linda Davis says, love to all. Good night. I'll see you Friday and Saturday. We will be at the rodeo. Rodeo. I hear you. Enjoy the rodeo. I used to love going to the rodeo. And have a good night, sweetheart, and we'll see you Friday. Aaron says, free steak prices.
Right.
Big John says, I'm gonna say good night to all you wonderful people. Hearts all over the place. Big John, I love you, buddy. Thank you for being here. I'm not far behind you.
Night, Linda. Night, Nugget.
And Linda says, good night, Nugget, heart. And Aaron says, even wheat can grow side by side. That's right. And Patty says, thank you all for your kindness. Good night, and God bless you all. Prayers. Patty, thank you for being here, sweetheart. We love you. Have a good night.
Night, Patty.
Aaron says, thank you, Patty, for being here. Amen. And Lady Biker says, Amy, thank you for saying hi. Well, I said hi. You didn't thank me for saying hi. I love you, Lady B. Amy says, I have a circle of friends and a rhombus and a triangle of suspicion. Nice. Me too. Aaron says, lady, do you have a picture of your bike? That's a good question. April says, love your shirt, Jake. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. It's dragons. I have a red one and a black one. The red one has black on it and the black one has red on it. They're very hard to tell apart. But there is a difference. And Debbie says, Hang on. Yellow and blue make green. That's correct. So green is not a primary color. All right. I got you. Primary colors aren't made by two other colors. Got it. So it would be yellow, blue, and red then, right? I guess you're right about that. Amy says, I'm at the gas station. Lady B. Kissy face. And Big John says, Jake, I've been thinking about immigrating from Britain lately. It's so toxic. Come on over here, buddy. It ain't much better here, but at least you'll be free to say what you think about it. And Amanda says, come on, Nugget.
Yeah, come on over, Nugget.
I hate it for you, man. That's another place that used to be a lovely place to think about visiting, and it just ain't no more. Again, I'm not exactly sure where in Britain you are. When I think of Britain, I think of London. So that's what I'm thinking about is the Londonish area. But I know that it's bigger than just London. And Amy says, I saw that on a door at work, circle of friends. It's a good expression. And Lady B says, love you, Jake. Again, love your shirt. Thank you, Lady B. My shirt loves you too. And Aaron says, thank you for this place to come, Jake and Amanda. My house is your house, and it's a very, very, very fine house. It's our house, really. Well, I love you, Aaron, and I appreciate you being here. And I mean that. And Debbie says, when I retouched negatives, I had to know the color wheel and color opposites because all the artwork is done in the negative. Yes, it is. And I'm glad that you know it because I don't. And I make T-shirts for a living. I deal in colors all day long. I'm just not good with it. I have a chart, so it tells me what to pick. And Amy says, $2.99 a gallon. And oh, before I forget, a little peek for you. And Monkey Juice says, you can't get rid of me, Jake. I'm good for business. And Monkey Juice, I don't see it that way, buddy. I'm not trying to run a business. I'm trying to create a thoughtful mind. I'm trying to teach people how to think about reality. I'm not trying to run a good business. So that's not on my agenda. You don't donate. You don't bring anything to the table. Very rarely do you even comment, and when you do, it's some nonsense that I dispute with almost half my brain tied behind my back. How are you good for business exactly? I'm interested in you as a person, not as a business proposition. When I say I'm your friend, I mean that earnestly. I'm trying to actually be your friend. I don't have to have seen your face or know where you live to be your friend. But I mean that earnestly. You can ask anybody here. I'm a genuine article. I'm not trying to play you or scam you in any way or use you to my benefit in any way. If it works out that way, then so be it. But that is not my repertoire. If you're going to hang around me, you're going to have to see reality for what it is, not for what the narrative says it is. I don't watch CNN and decide what I think because some potato head said it first. I make my own thoughts, and then I propagate them. I'm a trend setter, not a trend follower. You understand the difference? So if you're going to be here and continue to be, you're going to have to get on the bandwagon at some point. Because if you're not helping me build this thing, you're hurting me. And if you're hurting me, I will cut you out like a bad habit and make no mistake about it. I have no bones about doing so.
You're welcome, Aaron. Glad everyone comes and joins us to have some fun.
Aaron says $2.69 here. And April says, LOL, Monkey Juice.
$2.78 here.
And Monkey Juice says, agree to disagree. That's all. No, that's not how this works. I don't agree to anything except what I state is fact. And then you agree or don't. If you do, then you're a smart person who realizes who you're talking to. If you disagree, it's because you have missed the plot. You don't realize who you're talking to. I get the picture that you think I'm your little buddy that you can just hang out with and say whatever you want to, or you can talk to me however you want to. You have no idea the difference between you and me, the divide that is between your intellect and mine. I don't think you understand who you're talking to. And when you do figure it out, if you ever do figure it out, you are going to be pretty embarrassed to think that you ever put your thoughts next to mine. You haven't done or researched or been involved with any of the things that I have. You don't have a clue what I've done in my life. So think about that for a little while. Amber says, think about the minions when I think about the minions when I think about England. Yeah. But I gotta hand it to you, I do too. Debbie says, so worth the wait. Phew, what a night. Maybe next time I'll give you the sock off. And Big John says, Monkey, don't poke the bear. Be nice. And Monkey says, Jake, if I had the money, I would donate, buddy. Well, that's what matters right there. And if you did, if you thought that, if you felt that way, that's good enough. I don't need your money. It's nice of you to think that, and I appreciate that. But my interest here is pulling you up out of the darkness, which you are clearly in. I want you to do better. I want you to be able to see the world for what it is. I want you to be able to maneuver through it without getting trapped in it. That's what I'm here for. If you're not going to help me do that, at some point you're hurting me. And like I said before, the Bible is clear. It's my job to go out and spread the gospel, but not to cast my pearl before swine. That means that if I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with you, I'm going to move on to the next person because you're wasting my time at some point. My time is valuable. It has meaning. It has weight. And if you're not going to use it and benefit from it, you're wasting it. So somebody else can benefit from it. I will give it to them. I will not cast my pearl before swine. I hope that you understand that. And by the way, there are a lot of ways that you can donate to something that you believe in. You don't have to spend money. You could bring people to the show. You could help me spread the word. You could just be positive in the chat. There are 1,000 ways you can help me. If you think that I'm doing a good job and you think that this is something the world needs, you can get on that bandwagon. Make no mistake about it. We are in the middle of a spiritual war here, and you better pick a side. You better pick a side because it's going down. And one of those sides are going to lose. So you better find out which one you're on. And if you're on this one, you better learn how to fight or carry bullets or make sandwiches or something. I'm a teetotaler. I'm not making up who I am. That means I truly believe what I'm saying. You should too if you're smart. And April says, I agree, Aaron. And April says, facts, Jake. Thank you, ma'am. Amy says, just like Willie, I'm on the road again. I'll see y'all Friday if I absolutely can. Monkey says, okay, I'm out. Well, come back if you want to learn. And I love you, and I hope that you do well out there. I truly do. Aaron says, you agree with what, April? With me. She agrees with me.
No, she agreed with Aaron.
Oh, forget what I said.
But she was trying to figure out what, and I think she was agreeing with my comment, not his.
I don't know. Yeah, she says things sometimes that don't fit. I don't know why, but I just roll with it. And Big John says, Amber, I wear glasses, but I'm not a minion. I would pay money to hear you talk. If you do that minion talk, or however they talk, that's worth it. April says, for a place to come and have fun, Aaron. Ah, you agree with what Aaron said about this place. Got it. Aaron, what she's saying is, when you said thank you for the place to come, that's what she's agreeing with. And thank you, April. And thank you, Aaron. And see monkey juice? That's what I'm talking about. And Aaron says, oh, yes, it's beautiful. And Amber says, I wear glasses. Me too.
Me three.
I've given up on not wearing glasses. I used to fight it. For half of my life, I would take my glasses off and perform without them. But at some point, it got to where I just couldn't see anymore. So I can't read my set list. I can't read people's faces. I can't see what the song list is saying. I need to wear the glasses. So, like it or not, this rock star has glasses on. So here I am with glasses. And yes, I am that vain. And Amber says, Amy, take care of yourself. Hearts and smiley faces and prayers. And Big John says, good night again. Good night, John. Aaron says, I love that it's a place of peace. Mostly. It gets crazy sometimes. Amber says, I make awesome sandwiches. Just saying. America. Hearts. Go Team America. Hearts and prayers in America. I hear you, sweetie. As long as you're doing something. That's all I'm asking. Is that if you believe in this place and you think it's worth having, contribute to it. Help us grow. Help us get out there in the world. Help this place be the thing that it's trying to be. And it's going to take all of us. I built it, but it's yours. Help me build it. Help me get it bigger. Help me get it to survive. This is the ground floor of the same thing that TPUSA is, only they're bigger than we are. Why? Well, because they've been out there and everybody's pushing for them and they got big donors. We don't. So it takes each and every one of us to stay afloat. And there's all kinds of ways to help. Just get creative. Go make a website. Go download my videos and make shorts and put them out. And if you make money, then so be it. Make money. And April says, you speak alien, Jake. LOL. I do speak alien, but I'm very good at it. What do you mean? Judy's here. Hey, Judy. And Judy says, hey, Jake, Amanda, sorry I'm late. Well, you're just in time to watch me leave, but hello. And April says, me for. What?
Glasses.
Oh. Amanda says, hi, Judy. And Judy says, hey, everybody. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you, sweet lady. And April says, hi, Judy, love. Good to see you, heart. And Aaron says, April, I never seen you with any glasses. She wears glasses. And Judy says, hey, April. And Amanda says,
because she can't never find them, Aaron. LOL, April's glasses.
Amber says, Judy, heart and smiles. And April says, amen. Well said, Jake. Thank you, dear. Prayers and hearts. And Judy says, hey, Amber. And Aaron says, air tag on glasses. Not a bad idea. And April says, ha, Amanda. They were in my car. I have them now. OMG. Smiley faces. April says, Amanda knows me. I love it. I love you. Heart. And Aaron says, a firehead and glasses. Man, yeah, and if she gets in the sun just right, she can catch you on fire.
She gets in the sun too long, she'll be burnt so bad she'll feel like a lobster. Or look like a lobster.
And Amanda says,
oh, you found them for a day or two? I love you too.
And Amber says, you too. Smiley faces. And April says, well, I don't wear them all the time, and I should, I guess. I have to wear mine all the time. I'm blind as a bat now. When I hit 50, my eyesight just vanished. I can't even read street signs anymore without my glasses on. I used to could see well enough that I could take them off and function. I still had bad vision, but I could read street signs and I could read a menu or whatever. I could see my phone. Now, I can't even read my phone unless I have my glasses on. It just looks like a blurry mess. So I have to wear them. And Aaron says she don't need the sun. She is fire. She's fire and she's rain. Oh, Big John hit me with another £5 super chat. Thank you, Big John. And he says, see you Friday, everyone. Hearts all over the place. Thank you, John. Amber says, eyes. What does that mean, eyes? Amber, what are you talking about, eyes? Smiley faces and hearts. Whose eyes? Or are you just saying, I'm here? Or is that supposed to make a emoji pop up?
LOL, Aaron. She's the whitest fire you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. April says, everything's getting blurry for me now. Ugh. Oh, yeah. It will. Soon as I turned 40, my eyesight started going. And by the time I was 50, it was gone. I can't see nothing. I have to wear, these are just magnifiers too. These are dollar store reading glasses, but I have to wear them. I can't see anything without them. Can't read anything. Amber says, who, Aaron? April.
Thanks, Nugget.
Yes, thank you, Nugget. And Judy says, bye, John. And Aaron says, April. And Amber says, John, my screen is green with your name. That's because he loves me. And I appreciate that, John. And April says, John, love you and thanks so much. Heart, smiley faces. Aaron says, LOL, reverse tan. Ha ha. Reserve tan. That's a reverse tan. Or a reserve nat is what that is. And April says, I'm Ivory, LOL, alabaster, right on. Aaron says, ebony and ivory. And Amanda says,
April is as white as a ghost with freckles and a redhead.
And it runs in the family. I'm that white too. If I took my shirt off right now, my camera would go white. The white balance would freak out.
I'm like that too. My hair's just not quite as red as April's.
Aaron says, smiley faces. And April says, I love it.
Yes, Aaron.
And April says, shut up, Jake. LOL. Never. Never shut up. Aaron says, she's Casper with polka dots.
Oh, she Casper with polka dots.
Me too. If you get up real close, it looks like somebody hit me across the face with an ugly stick.
Jake's butt glows in the dark.
I have a frosting of freckles across my eyes. It's like in a strip. I have strips of them across my back and across my face. Probably across my ass, I don't know. And they're just real light. Thousands of little freckles all through here. I never noticed it until I took a black and white photo up close, and I was like, holy God, never do that again.
They're on your arms, too.
Yeah. Yep. And Lady B says, thank you, Nugget. And Amber says, okay, have a wonderful night across the pond, John. Smiley face and prayers. Aaron says, April's running from Ghostbusters. April says, you're not ugly, Jake. I didn't say I was ugly. I said I got hit with the ugly stick across the eyes. No, I'm not ugly. I'm ruggedly handsome. I'm like a 60s sex symbol. Or a 50s sex symbol. And Lady B says, Amber G, wavy hand. And Judy says, nope, not ugly, Jake. Thank you, Judy. Amber says, welcome back, Lady B. And April says, Ghostbusters, LOL. All right, that's the bottom of the chat, and I'm going to bed. I got to get up and go to work in the morning, so I'll see you guys Friday. I love each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, John, for the super chats. I appreciate that. And Debbie says, ruggedly handsome with sexy feet. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that.
And ninnies.
And April says, ha ha, Debbie. Debbie says, I have the proof. You do have proof.
Nighters, y'all. See you Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Untethered Live for Chill Stream. Much love, y'all.
And April says, oh, man. And Debbie says, oops, I forgot the ninnies. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I love you. Thank you for being here. Go out in the world, be nice to somebody. I promise you it'll change your life. Have a great night, and thank you so much. Thanks for watching.